The cosmos has a way of keeping secrets until the moment we're least prepared to hear them. On October 29, 2025, at exactly 11:42 UTC, humanity lost sight of the most enigmatic visitor our solar system has ever received. 3I Atlas, along with its 9 mysterious companions, vanished behind the sun's blinding glare during what astronomers call solar conjunction. What should have been a routine astronomical event has become something far more unsettling. For months, we've tracked this formation as it approached our star, documenting behaviour that defies every model of natural celestial mechanics. Perfect geometric spacing maintained across millions of kilometres, synchronised energy signatures, coordinated movement that looks less like debris and more like intention. Now, at the crucial moment when 3I Atlas reaches Perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun, every telescope on Earth has gone blind. The timing couldn't be more suspicious. This isn't just any orbital phase. Perihelion is when comets typically reveal their true nature, when solar heating strips away surface materials and exposes what lies beneath. It's also the optimal window for any object to execute high-energy maneuvers using the Sun's gravitational field. For 48 hours, we're flying blind while something unprecedented unfolds behind that curtain of light. What happened in those final moments before blackout has shaken the astronomical community to its core? Multiple observatories recorded a coordinated brightness surge across the entire formation, followed by a sharp spectral signature at 40-20 MHz, the hydrogen line frequency used for deep space communications. Then silence. Complete radio blackout as solar interference swallowed every signal. Tonight, we're going to examine the data that led to this moment, trace the anomalies that have scientists speaking in whispers, and explore what might be happening right now in the one place our instruments cannot reach. Because when 3I Atlas emerges from behind the Sun in early December, it may not be the same object that went in. Stay with me as we uncover why this perihelion passage has changed everything we thought we knew about visitors from beyond our solar system. The story begins with discovery, but not the kind astronomers expected. When 3I Atlas first appeared in telescope surveys back in July 2025, it seemed unremarkable. Another interstellar wanderer following a hyperbolic trajectory through our neighbourhood. The initial classification was routine, filed alongside other confirmed visitors like 1I Oumuamua and 2I Borisov, just another chunk of ice and rock from the vast emptiness between stars. But 3I Atlas refused to behave like its predecessors. While Oumuamua tumbled chaotically and Borisov followed predictable comet physics, this new visitor exhibited an eerie stability. Its rotation remained steady even as solar heating increased. More troubling, spectroscopic analysis revealed an unusual composition. High concentrations of reflective metals, temperature signatures that suggested internal heat generation, and most mysteriously a complete absence of the water vapour typically associated with active comets. The first major anomaly surfaced in early September, when high-resolution imaging detected what appeared to be smaller objects accompanying the main body. Initially dismissed as fragmentation debris, these companions soon revealed characteristics that challenged every assumption about natural space debris. They maintained precise spacing ratios, moved in perfect synchronization, and showed identical thermal signatures despite being separated by thousands of kilometers. Dr. Elena Vasquez at the European Southern Observatory was among the first to notice the geometric pattern. Her team's measurements revealed that each companion object sat at distances following a Fibonacci progression, a mathematical sequence rarely seen in nature with such precision. When similar spacing was confirmed by independent observatories in Chile and Hawaii, the astronomical community began asking uncomfortable questions. The formation's behaviour became even more perplexing as it approached the inner solar system. Traditional models predicted that solar radiation pressure would gradually scatter any loose debris. Instead, the companions drew closer to the primary object, tightening their formation while maintaining perfect angular relationships. By mid-October, the entire cluster spanned roughly 50,000 kilometers in diameter, rotating as a single rigid structure every 9 hours. Energy readings presented another puzzle. Each companion object emitted approximately 20 gigawatts of thermal energy, far exceeding what reflected sunlight could account for. The power output remained constant regardless of the formation's distance from the Sun, suggesting an internal energy source. When questioned about this anomaly, NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office issued only a brief statement acknowledging unusual thermodynamic readings under investigation. The radio signatures added another layer of mystery. Beginning in late September, deep space monitoring arrays detected faint but structured emissions from the 3I Atlas formation. The signals appeared at 14 × 10⁴ MHz, the same frequency used by radio astronomers to study hydrogen clouds throughout the galaxy. The transmissions followed a precise rhythm, 3 distinct pulses separated by exactly 47-second intervals, repeating continuously as the formation approached perihelion. Amateur radio operators worldwide confirmed these detections using independent equipment. The signal strength varied predictably based on the formation's orientation, suggesting the emissions were directional rather than isotropic. More intriguingly, the pulse timing showed minute variations that, when analysed, revealed embedded mathematical sequences. Prime numbers appeared most frequently, followed by Fibonacci, ratios and other patterns that statisticians calculated had virtually zero probability of occurring naturally. The most unsettling discovery came from trajectory analysis. While 3I Atlas followed a hyperbolic orbit, consistent with an interstellar origin, its path showed tiny but consistent deviations from purely gravitational motion. These non-gravitational accelerations couldn't be explained by typical comet outgassing, which produces random chaotic thrust. Instead, the velocity changes appeared coordinated across the entire formation, as if something was making minute course corrections to optimize the approach trajectory. Dr. Mikhail Petrov's team at the Russian Academy of Sciences published a controversial paper suggesting the trajectory modifications were intentional. Their calculations showed that the course adjustments positioned 3I Atlas for an optimal solar flyby, maximizing gravitational acceleration while minimizing thermal stress on the formation. The precision required for such navigation exceeded the capabilities of any known natural process. Government responses to these findings varied dramatically. While NASA maintained its position of cautious scientific inquiry, classified communications leaked from the Department of Defense revealed heightened interest from military space tracking facilities. The European Space Agency quietly extended observational campaigns beyond their normal duration. China's National Space Administration began dedicating significant resources to continuous monitoring of the formation. International cooperation, typically robust in astronomical research, showed unusual strain. Data-sharing agreements faced unexpected restrictions. Several observatories reported pressure to limit public disclosure of their findings. The normally transparent scientific process began operating behind closed doors as institutions grappled with observations that challenged fundamental assumptions about the nature of interstellar objects. The formation's approach to perihelion accelerated these concerns. As 3I Atlas drew closer to the Sun, its behavior became increasingly anomalous. The hydrogen line transmissions strengthened and developed additional complexity. Secondary frequencies appeared, creating harmonic patterns that suggested sophisticated signal processing. The mathematical sequences embedded in the transmissions evolved, displaying increasingly complex numerical relationships. Temperature monitoring revealed another impossibility. As the formation entered the region where solar heating should have caused significant outgassing or structural changes, the thermal signatures remained perfectly stable. Each companion maintained its internal temperature within fractions of a degree, despite experiencing radiation flux that should have vaporized any natural ice or rock composition. The final pre-conjunction observations painted a picture that no conventional model could explain. The 3I Atlas formation was approaching the Sun with mechanical precision, maintaining perfect structural integrity while emitting organized radio signals and demonstrating apparent course control. Every measurement suggested the presence of active systems rather than passive debris. As October 29th approached, observatories worldwide prepared for the conjunction phase with unusual intensity. Emergency protocols were activated. International communication channels were established. Backup systems were tested and retested. The scientific community braced for an event that might rewrite textbooks or confirm the most extraordinary possibility in human history. The last clear images captured before solar interference show the formation in perfect alignment, each component positioned with geometric precision as they approach the point of no return. The hydrogen line transmissions continued until the final moment, maintaining their 47-second rhythm with clockwork accuracy. Then, at 11:42 UTC, the sun's glare overwhelmed every sensor, and 3i Atlas disappeared into the brightest hiding place in the solar system. What happens next depends entirely on what emerges from that blazing concealment. The formation could reappear exactly where orbital mechanics predicts, validating natural explanations for the observed anomalies. Or it could emerge changed, displaced, or accompanied by new signatures that force humanity to confront a truth we've never been prepared to face. The next chapter of this story is being written right now, somewhere behind the sun, in the only place our instruments cannot reach. The mathematics of silence can be more revealing than the loudest signals. While 3i Atlas hides behind our star, the absence of data becomes data itself. Every missing pulse, every interrupted transmission, every gap in our measurements tells a story that traditional astronomy has never had to interpret. We're not just dealing with observational limitations anymore. We're confronting the possibility that what we can't see is more important than what we can. The conjunction phase began with unprecedented preparation. Never before had so many instruments been simultaneously focused on a single object's disappearance. The Deep Space Network allocated continuous monitoring time across multiple frequencies. Radio telescopes from Arecibo to the Very Large Array maintained constant vigilance on the hydrogen line. Even civilian observers with amateur equipment contributed to what became the most comprehensive astronomical blackout watch in history. The transition into solar interference wasn't gradual. At 11:41:56 UTC, all signals remained strong and coherent. The familiar three-pulse sequence at 1420 MHz continued its precise 47-second rhythm. Temperature readings from the formation showed the same impossible stability that had puzzled scientists for months. Then, in the span of 4 seconds, everything changed. The final transmission differed from every previous signal. Instead of the standard triple pulse, instruments detected a sustained tone lasting exactly 81 seconds. The frequency remained locked at 1420 405 MHz, but the amplitude showed complex modulation patterns that suggested information encoding. Digital signal processing revealed embedded sequences that matched prime number progressions, but the full message, if it was a message, cut off abruptly as solar interference overwhelmed the receivers. Dr. Sarah Chen at the Allen Telescope Array described the moment as watching a conversation end mid-sentence. Her team's real-time analysis showed the signal strength building to unprecedented levels in those final seconds, as if 3i Atlas was using every available watt of power to transmit something crucial before disappearing behind the sun. The sudden termination left engineers staring at static-filled displays, wondering what had been interrupted. The electromagnetic signature of that final burst created ripples throughout the solar system's plasma environment. The Parker Solar Probe, positioned closer to the sun than any previous human-made object, detected unusual fluctuations in the solar wind immediately following the transmission. These disturbances propagated outward at nearly light speed, reaching Earth-based magnetometers within minutes of the original signal loss. Ground-based magnetic field monitoring stations recorded synchronized anomalies across multiple continents. The disturbances weren't random electromagnetic noise. They showed the same mathematical patterns that had characterized 3i Atlas's radio emissions, as if the formation had somehow impressed its signature onto the solar wind itself. The implications troubled physicists who understood that influencing solar plasma required energy levels beyond anything a natural object could generate. As the hours passed and solar interference intensified, indirect monitoring methods revealed additional anomalies. The sun's corona, normally a chaotic soup of charged particles, showed unusual organization in the region where 3i Atlas had vanished. Solar observation satellites detected structured density variations moving through the plasma at velocities that matched the formation's last known trajectory. These coronal disturbances weren't subtle. The Solar and Heliospheric Observatory captured images showing what appeared to be a wake or channel carved through the sun's outer atmosphere. The feature extended for millions of kilometers, maintaining geometric coherence despite the turbulent environment. Solar physicists had never observed anything similar, even during the most energetic coronal mass ejections. The organized nature of these plasma structures suggested active manipulation rather than passive interaction. Something was creating order within the chaos of the solar corona. maintaining coherent patterns despite temperatures exceeding 1,000,000 degrees Celsius. The energy requirements for such control defied conventional understanding of what natural processes could accomplish in that extreme environment. International space agencies responded to these observations with unusual coordination. Joint monitoring protocols were established within hours of the conjunction beginning. Classified communication channels linked observatories across multiple nations. The public received carefully worded statements about routine solar monitoring during interstellar object passage, but the intensity of the response suggested anything but routine circumstances. Behind closed doors, preliminary assessments painted a picture that challenged fundamental assumptions about the nature of 3I Atlas. The object wasn't simply hiding behind the sun, it was actively interacting with the solar environment in ways that violated known physics. The formation appeared to be using the sun's energy and magnetic field for purposes that remained entirely mysterious. Theoretical physicists began developing models for what might be occurring in the hidden region. The most conservative estimates suggested 3I Atlas could be experiencing structural changes due to extreme solar heating. More speculative theories proposed that the formation might be using perihelion as a gravitational slingshot, potentially altering its trajectory for departure from the solar system. The most controversial hypothesis came from Dr. Elena Vasquez's expanded team at the European Southern Observatory. Their calculations suggested that an object with 3I Atlas's observed characteristics could theoretically use the sun's gravitational well and magnetic field to execute what they termed stellar engineering maneuvers. Such capabilities would require technology far exceeding human understanding, but the mathematics supported the possibility. These theoretical frameworks remained strictly academic until additional evidence emerged from an unexpected source. The Voyager probes, humanity's most distant operational spacecraft, began detecting faint but structured radio emissions from the direction of the inner solar system. The signals were too weak for detailed analysis, but their timing matched the 47-second intervals that had characterized 3I Atlas's transmissions. The discovery that signals were somehow propagating beyond the heliosphere challenged every model of electromagnetic transmission. Radio waves at those frequencies shouldn't penetrate the boundary between solar and interstellar space with sufficient strength for detection. Yet Voyager's instruments were recording coherent patterns that suggested the source possessed extraordinary transmission power. Amateur radio operators worldwide reported similar detections, though their equipment lacked the sensitivity for precise analysis. The reports created a growing database of observations that painted a picture of global electromagnetic anomalies centered on the 1420-405 MHz frequency. The coordination required to generate such widespread effects implied a source of staggering capability. As the conjunction phase continued, the indirect evidence accumulated into a compelling narrative. Whatever 3I Atlas truly was, its interaction with our Sun was creating measurable changes throughout the solar system. The formation wasn't simply passing through our neighborhood. It was actively modifying the local electromagnetic environment in ways that suggested deliberate intent. The waiting became a test of scientific patience and public nerves. Every day brought new anomalous readings from solar monitoring instruments. Every hour revealed additional patterns in the electromagnetic noise that surrounded our star. The data suggested continuous activity in the hidden region, but the nature of that activity remained tantalizingly beyond direct observation. Ground-based telescopes maintained their vigil despite the futility of optical observation. Radio arrays swept the sky continuously, searching for any signal that might leak around the sun's electromagnetic interference. Deep space communication networks stood ready to capture the first hint of 3I Atlas's re-emergence, whenever and wherever that might occur. The scientific community found itself in uncharted territory, forced to develop new methodologies for studying an object they couldn't directly observe. Indirect measurement techniques became primary tools. Statistical analysis of electromagnetic noise replaced visual confirmation. The absence of expected signals became as significant as the presence of unexpected ones. International cooperation reached levels unprecedented in civilian space science. Data flowed freely between institutions that had previously guarded their observations jealously. The magnitude of the 3I Atlas phenomenon transcended national boundaries and institutional rivalries. For the first time in history, humanity's entire astronomical capability focused on understanding a single event. The implications extended far beyond academic curiosity. If 3i Atlas proved to be artificial, the consequences would reshape every aspect of human understanding about our place in the universe. The formation's demonstrated capabilities suggested technology that could manipulate stellar environments, control electromagnetic fields across astronomical distances, and maintain structural integrity under conditions that would vaporize any known material. As November approached, the anticipation became almost unbearable. Computer models projected the earliest possible re-emergence dates based on various trajectory assumptions. Observation schedules were coordinated to ensure continuous coverage of the predicted emergence zone. Emergency protocols were established for immediate data sharing and analysis. The world held its breath, waiting for the sun to reveal what it had been hiding. When 3i Atlas finally emerged from behind our star, it would either validate conventional explanations or confirm the most extraordinary discovery in human history. The next phase of this investigation would determine whether we were alone in the universe or whether something vast and intelligent had been observing us from the darkness between stars, us from the darkness between stars. The emergence began not with fanfare, but with whispers in the electromagnetic spectrum. On December 2, 2025, 3 days earlier than any orbital model predicted, the first faint signals started appearing on radio telescopes across the southern hemisphere. The frequencies were familiar yet wrong, centered on 1420.405 MHz, but carrying modulations that had never been recorded before. The rhythm remained unchanged, that precise 47-second interval that had become the heartbeat of an impossible mystery, but something fundamental had shifted in the signal structure. The Atacama Large Millimeter Array in Chile detected the initial breakthrough. A brief pulse lasting exactly 4.7 seconds, followed by silence, then another pulse with identical duration and timing. The signal strength suggested a source much closer than expected, as if 3i Atlas had somehow accelerated during its hidden passage behind the sun. Within hours, radio observatories in South Africa and Australia confirmed the detection, triangulating a position that placed the formation millions of kilometers ahead of its predicted location. Dr. Maria Santos at the Atacama facility described the moment as hearing an echo before the original sound. The impossibility of the situation wasn't lost on anyone monitoring the frequencies. Objects don't simply appear ahead of their calculated trajectories without experiencing forces that leave detectable signatures. Yet 3i Atlas seemed to have done exactly that, emerging from solar conjunction in a location that violated every principle of orbital mechanics. The first optical confirmation came from the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope Array. High-resolution imaging revealed not the scattered debris field that some scientists had secretly hoped to find, but the same geometrically perfect formation that had disappeared behind the Sun 2 months earlier. The 9 companion objects maintained their precise spacing, their thermal signatures unchanged, their mysterious coordination intact. What had changed was their velocity. Spectroscopic analysis revealed Doppler shifts indicating the formation was travelling at 61 km per second, a significant increase from the 54 km per second measured before conjunction. The acceleration couldn't be explained by gravitational interactions with the Sun. Solar gravity would have increased the formation's speed during close approach, but not by this magnitude, and certainly not in a way that would place it ahead of predicted coordinates. The energy implications were staggering. To achieve such acceleration naturally would have required the formation to somehow convert gravitational potential energy into kinetic energy with impossible efficiency. The only known mechanism capable of such conversion was the Oberth effect, where spacecraft fire engines at perihelion to maximize velocity gains. But that would require active propulsion systems, not the passive ice and rock that comets were supposed to be made of. Temperature readings from the formation revealed another impossibility. The objects showed no signs of thermal stress despite their passage through the Sun's corona. Their surface temperatures remained stable, their internal heat signatures unchanged. Any natural material should have shown dramatic temperature fluctuations after exposure to the extreme conditions near our star. Instead, 3i Atlas and its companions appeared completely unaffected by their solar encounter. The radio transmissions resumed with increased complexity. The familiar 3-pulse pattern continued every 47 seconds, but additional frequencies had joined the primary signal. Harmonics appeared at precise mathematical intervals, creating a structured electromagnetic symphony that spanned multiple bands. Signal processing revealed that these additional frequencies carried embedded data streams, binary patterns that repeated in sequences too organized to be natural phenomena. International monitoring facilities detected something even more disturbing. The formation's radio emissions weren't isotropic anymore. Instead of broadcasting equally in all directions, the signals showed clear directional preferences. The strongest transmissions were aimed at specific coordinates in space, including Earth's location and several points along Jupiter's orbital path. The targeting was too precise to be coincidental, suggesting active beam steering capabilities. Dr. James Mitchell's team at the Very Large Array in New Mexico made the most unsettling discovery. Their detailed analysis of the signal modulation revealed that the embedded delta streams contained mathematical constants. Pi appeared first, calculated to unprecedented precision, then the square root of 2, Euler's number, and other fundamental constants that any technological civilization would recognize. The sequences were unmistakably artificial, designed to demonstrate mathematical knowledge to potential observers. The implications sent shockwaves through the scientific community. These weren't random electromagnetic emissions from heated plasma or ionized gases. They were structured communications using mathematical concepts as a universal language. The formation was deliberately transmitting information in patterns that could only be interpreted as intelligent in origin. Government responses escalated rapidly. Within 24 hours of the first emergence detections, classified briefings were conducted across multiple nations. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs convened emergency sessions with representatives from every major spacefaring nation. Public statements remained cautiously scientific but private. Communications revealed growing alarm at the implications of the observations. NASA's official response was carefully measured, acknowledging anomalous electromagnetic signatures while avoiding any mention of artificial intelligence or extraterrestrial technology. The European Space Agency issued similar statements, emphasizing the need for continued observation and analysis. Behind the scenes, however, space agencies were quietly activating contingency protocols designed for scenarios they had hoped never to encounter. The formation's trajectory analysis revealed another troubling development. Instead of continuing on its original hyperbolic escape path, 3I Atlas appeared to be curving toward the outer solar system. Preliminary calculations suggested the formation was adjusting its course to intercept Jupiter's orbital path sometime in early 2026. The precision required for such navigation exceeded any known natural mechanism by orders of magnitude. Amateur astronomers worldwide contributed to the growing database of observations, their independent confirmations eliminating any possibility of institutional error or conspiracy. The phenomenon was real, observable by anyone with suitable equipment, and utterly unprecedented in human experience. Social media platforms buzzed with speculation, while scientific forums struggled to contain discussions that ventured into territory most academics were reluctant to explore publicly. The psychological impact on the astronomical community was profound. Careers built on understanding natural phenomena suddenly faced observations that challenged the fundamental assumption that all celestial objects were products of physical processes alone. The possibility that 3I Atlas represented something artificial forced scientists to confront questions they were not trained to answer. Deep space monitoring networks detected additional anomalies as the formation continued its outbound journey. The solar wind showed persistent disturbances along the trajectory 3I Atlas had followed during conjunction. These electromagnetic signatures suggested the formation had somehow imprinted its passage on the solar plasma, leaving a trail that remained detectable weeks after the event. The Voyager probes, humanity's most distant sentinels, began reporting coordinated signals that matched the timing and frequency characteristics of 3I Atlas's transmissions. The discovery that these signals were propagating across the entire solar system implied transmission power levels that dwarfed human capabilities. Whatever was generating these emissions possessed technology that operated on a scale comparable to stellar engineering. Theoretical physicists began developing models that could account for the observed phenomena, but every calculation required assumptions that violated known physical laws. The energy requirements for the formation's demonstrated capabilities exceeded the total power output of some small stars. The precision of its navigation and communication systems suggested computational abilities that surpassed human technology by centuries. The formation's continued acceleration toward Jupiter raised additional concerns. If 3I Atlas was indeed artificial, its approach to the solar system's largest planet might represent more than scientific curiosity. Jupiter's massive gravitational field could serve as a slingshot for interplanetary travel, but it could also provide the energy source for activities that human science couldn't yet comprehend. Monitoring protocols were established to track every aspect of 3I Atlas's approach to Jupiter. The Juno spacecraft, already in orbit around the gas giant, was tasked with detecting any electromagnetic anomalies that might indicate interaction between the formation and Jupiter's powerful magnetic field. Ground-based telescopes were coordinated to provide continuous observation of the formation's trajectory and behavior. The waiting had transformed from scientific curiosity into something approaching existential tension. Humanity found itself in the position of observer to events that might redefine our understanding of intelligence in the universe. The formation's demonstrated capabilities suggested technology that could manipulate matter and energy on astronomical scales, implying a civilization with knowledge that exceeded human comprehension. As 3I Atlas continued its journey toward the outer solar system, each new observation added to the mounting evidence that we were witnessing something unprecedented in human history. The formation's perfect coordination, its impossible stability, its mathematical communications, and its apparent course corrections all pointed toward a single, revolutionary conclusion that most scientists still hesitated to voice publicly. The next phase of this investigation would determine whether humanity was truly alone in the universe, or whether we had been discovered by intelligences whose capabilities made our greatest technological achievements seem primitive by comparison. The formation's approach to Jupiter would provide the ultimate test of its nature and intentions, potentially answering questions that had haunted human imagination since we first looked up at the stars and wondered who else might be looking back. The Jupiter encounter arrived with mathematical precision, but the formation's behavior defied every prediction model in human possession. On March 7, 2026, as 3I Atlas approached within 2.3 million kilometers of the gas giant's swirling atmosphere, the electromagnetic environment around Jupiter began exhibiting patterns that had never been documented in 4 centuries of telescopic observation. The Juno spacecraft, positioned in polar orbit around Jupiter, detected the first anomalies 12 hours before closest approach. Sudden fluctuations in the planet's massive magnetosphere created ripple effects that propagated outward at nearly the speed of light. These weren't random disturbances caused by solar wind interactions or internal dynamo variations. The magnetic field oscillations followed the same 47-second rhythm that had characterized 3I Atlas's radio transmissions since its emergence from solar conjunction. Dr. Rebecca Hayes at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory watched the real-time data streams with growing amazement. Her team had spent months preparing for this encounter, but nothing in their models predicted the formation's ability to influence Jupiter's magnetic field from such a distance. The planet's magnetosphere, one of the most powerful force fields in the solar system, was responding to 3I Atlas as if recognizing a familiar signal. The formation's approach trajectory demonstrated navigation precision that exceeded human capabilities by orders of magnitude. Instead of following a simple hyperbolic path past Jupiter, 3I Atlas executed a series of minor course corrections that positioned it for optimal gravitational interaction. The velocity changes were subtle but coordinated across all 10 objects in the formation, suggesting a level of propulsion control that operated beyond visible detection. Ground-based telescopes captured the encounter in unprecedented detail. The Hubble Space Telescope and the newly operational James Webb Space Telescope worked in coordination to document every aspect of the formation's behavior as it swept past Jupiter's cloud tops. What they recorded challenged fundamental assumptions about the interaction between artificial objects and planetary environments. The most startling observation came from Jupiter's aurora displays. Normally confined to the planet's polar regions, the auroras suddenly expanded to cover nearly half of Jupiter's visible hemisphere. The light patterns weren't chaotic or random. They pulsed in synchronized waves that matched the electromagnetic signatures emanating from 3I Atlas. The entire planet appeared to be responding to the formation's presence like a vast resonating chamber. Radio telescopes detected something even more extraordinary. As 3I Atlas reached its closest approach to Jupiter, the familiar hydrogen line transmissions suddenly amplified by several orders of magnitude. The signal strength suggested the formation was somehow using Jupiter's magnetosphere as an amplification system, broadcasting its mathematical sequences with power levels that could be detected across interstellar distances. The embedded data streams became more complex during the Jupiter flyby. Mathematical constants gave way to geometric progressions, then to sequences that appeared to represent physical constants from advanced physics. The Planck constant appeared first, followed by the fine structure constant and other fundamental values that described the basic architecture of reality itself. The transmissions read like a graduate-level physics textbook compressed into electromagnetic pulses. Dr. Liu Wei's team at the Shanghai Astronomical Observatory made a discovery that sent ripples through the international scientific community. Their analysis of the signal modulation revealed embedded coordinates, stellar positions that corresponded to nearby star systems within 50 light-years of Earth. The coordinates were encoded using mathematical relationships that could only be interpreted as navigational data, suggesting the formation possessed detailed knowledge of local galactic geography. The Jupiter encounter lasted approximately 6 hours, during which time the formation's behavior exhibited characteristics that no natural object could produce. Spectroscopic analysis revealed that each component of 3I Atlas maintained perfect thermal equilibrium despite passing through regions of intense radiation. The objects showed no signs of heating, cooling, or structural stress that would normally accompany such proximity to Jupiter's hostile environment. Most significantly, the formation's trajectory changed during the encounter in ways that violated conservation of momentum for any passive object. Instead of being accelerated along Jupiter's orbital path as gravitational mechanics demanded, 3I Atlas emerged from the flyby on a vector that angled sharply upward from the ecliptic plane. The course change required energy input that exceeded Jupiter's gravitational influence by a factor of 10. The implications were inescapable. 3I Atlas had used Jupiter not just as a gravitational slingshot, but as an energy source for active propulsion. The formation had somehow tapped into the planet's rotational energy or magnetic field to power maneuvers that positioned it on a trajectory leading toward the constellation Vega. The precision and efficiency of this energy extraction suggested technology that operated on principles unknown to human science. International space agencies coordinated their response with unprecedented urgency. Within hours of the Jupiter encounter, classified briefings were conducted at the highest levels of government. The United Nations Security Council convened emergency sessions. Military space tracking facilities worldwide were placed on heightened alert status. The implications of 3I Atlas's demonstrated capabilities extended far beyond scientific curiosity into realms of national security and global stability. Public statements remained carefully neutral, emphasizing continued scientific observation while avoiding speculation about the formation's origins or intentions. Behind closed doors, however, discussions focused on scenarios that most officials had never seriously considered. The possibility that Earth was being observed by a technologically superior civilization forced governments to confront questions about humanity's readiness for contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. Amateur astronomers provided crucial independent verification of the official observations. Their distributed network of telescopes and radio, receivers created a global monitoring system that no single institution could control or suppress. The democratization of astronomical observation meant that extraordinary claims required extraordinary evidence, and that evidence was accumulating faster than any government could classify or contain. The formation's post-Jupiter trajectory pointed toward a region of space that held special significance for human astronomy. Vega, the brightest star in the northern constellation Lyra, had long been considered a prime candidate for harboring habitable planetary systems. The star's relative proximity to Earth, just 25 light-years away, and its stable main sequence characteristics made it a frequent target for SETI observations and theoretical discussions about potential extraterrestrial civilizations. The apparent coincidence of 3I Atlas's departure vector troubled scientists who understood the statistical improbabilities involved. For a randomly arriving interstellar object to depart in the direction of one of humanity's most studied nearby stars stretched credibility beyond reasonable limits. The trajectory suggested either impossible coincidence or deliberate destination selection, based on knowledge of human astronomical interests. Long-range tracking revealed that 3I Atlas was accelerating as it departed the solar system. The formation's velocity continued to increase despite moving away from the Sun's gravitational influence. Spectroscopic measurements indicated the objects were somehow generating thrust, without producing detectable exhaust or reaction mass. The propulsion mechanism operated on principles that human physics couldn't explain or replicate. The radio transmissions continued throughout the departure phase, but their character evolved in ways that suggested adaptive intelligence. The mathematical sequences became increasingly complex, incorporating concepts from quantum mechanics and relativistic physics. The signals appeared to be demonstrating knowledge that spanned multiple scientific disciplines, as if teaching a curriculum designed for technologically developing civilizations. Dr. Sarah Chen's team at the SETI Institute began systematic analysis of the transmission patterns, searching for any indication of intentional communication beyond the mathematical demonstrations. Their preliminary findings suggested the signals contained embedded protocols that resembled digital communication standards, though operating at complexity levels that exceeded human computational capabilities. The psychological impact on the scientific community deepened as the implications of 3I Atlas's behavior became undeniable. Researchers who had spent careers studying natural phenomena found themselves confronting evidence of intelligence that operated on scales they had never imagined possible. The formation's demonstrated abilities suggested a civilization capable of interstellar travel, stellar engineering, and information processing that dwarfed human achievements. Educational institutions began quietly preparing curricula that addressed the possibility of extraterrestrial contact. The implications for human philosophy, religion, and social organization were profound enough to require careful consideration of how such knowledge might affect global stability. The mere possibility that 3I Atlas represented first contact with alien intelligence forced humanity to examine its assumptions about uniqueness and isolation in the universe. As the formation continued its journey toward the outer boundaries of the solar system, long-range monitoring revealed additional anomalies that reinforced the artificial hypothesis. The objects maintained perfect coordination despite increasing distances from any conceivable control center. Their radio transmissions showed no degradation in signal strength or coherence, suggesting power sources and communication systems that operated with impossible efficiency. The Voyager probes, humanity's most distant operational spacecraft, began detecting the formation's signals at ranges that challenged understanding of electromagnetic propagation through interstellar space. The fact that 3I Atlas's transmissions could reach instruments billions of kilometers away implied broadcast power that exceeded the output of small stars, yet operated with precision that suggested conscious control rather than natural emission. Theoretical physicists struggled to develop models that could account for the formation's observed capabilities within the framework of known physical laws. Every calculation required assumptions about technology that operated centuries beyond human achievement. The energy densities, information processing speeds, and coordination mechanisms demonstrated by 3I Atlas suggested a civilization that had mastered principles of physics that humans were only beginning to discover. The formation's trajectory calculations revealed another unsettling possibility. If 3I Atlas maintained its current acceleration profile, it would reach the Alpha Centauri system within approximately 40 years. The implications of an artificial object with demonstrated technological capabilities approaching humanity's nearest stellar neighbors added urgency to questions about the formation's origins and intentions. International cooperation reached levels unprecedented in human space exploration. Data-sharing agreements transcended national boundaries and institutional rivalries. The magnitude of 3I Atlas's implications forced humanity to approach the phenomenon as a species, rather than as competing nations or organizations. For the first time in history, the entire global scientific community focused on understanding a single event that might determine humanity's future relationship with the cosmos. The investigation continued with intensity that matched the stakes involved. Every radio telescope, every optical observatory, every deep space monitoring facility contributed to an unprecedented campaign of observation and analysis. The formation's departure from the solar system represented both an ending and a beginning, the conclusion of direct observation and the start of a new chapter in human understanding of our place in a universe that was clearly far more complex and populated than we had ever dared to imagine. As 3I Atlas faded beyond the range of direct optical observation, its radio signals remained strong and clear, continuing their mathematical transmissions with unwavering precision. The formation's message, whatever its ultimate meaning, would continue propagating across interstellar space long after the objects themselves disappeared into the darkness between stars. Humanity was left to contemplate the implications of contact with intelligence that operated on scales we were only beginning to comprehend, and to prepare for the possibility that 3I Atlas's visit might be neither the first nor the last such encounter in our future among the stars. The aftermath of contact brings questions that dwarf the original mystery. 6 months after 3I Atlas vanished beyond the heliopause, its influence continues to ripple through our solar system, like stones thrown into a cosmic pond. The formation may be gone, but the changes it initiated persist in ways that challenge our understanding of cause and effect on astronomical scales. The most persistent anomaly manifests in Jupiter's magnetosphere, which continues to pulse with the same 47-second rhythm that characterized 3I Atlas throughout its visit. The Juno spacecraft records these oscillations with mechanical precision, each cycle identical to the last. The magnetic field variations show no signs of decay or drift, as if Jupiter itself has been permanently tuned to resonate at the frequency of hydrogen. Dr. Amanda Foster at the European Space Agency's Deep Space Operations Centre describes the phenomenon as planetary memory. Her team's analysis reveals that Jupiter's magnetic field lines have reorganized themselves into geometric patterns that mirror the formation's original structure. 9 distinct current loops circle the planet's magnetic equator, maintaining perfect spacing ratios that match the companion object's orbital relationships. The implications extend beyond simple electromagnetic effects. Jupiter's radiation belts, normally chaotic regions of trapped charged particles, now exhibit ordered flow patterns that channel energy with unprecedented efficiency. The planet's aurora displays have evolved into complex light sculptures that pulse in mathematical sequences, broadcasting prime numbers and Fibonacci progressions into space with each magnetic cycle. Similar phenomena appear throughout the outer solar system as Jupiter's transformed magnetic field interacts with the solar wind. Saturn's magnetosphere shows resonant responses that occur precisely when Jupiter's field reaches peak intensity. The synchronization spans nearly 1 billion kilometers, suggesting the formation somehow created a unified electromagnetic network linking the gas giants. The Cassini mission's replacement probe detected structured radio emissions from Saturn's polar regions during these resonance events. The signals carry the same mathematical constants that 3I Atlas transmitted during its departure, but encoded in frequencies that match Saturn's rotational period. The planet appears to be rebroadcasting the formation's message using its own electromagnetic voice. Ground-based radio telescopes continue monitoring the hydrogen frequency for any trace of 3I Atlas's ongoing transmissions. While direct signals from the formation have faded below detection thresholds, the background radiation at 142405 MHz shows subtle modulations that weren't present before the encounter. Statistical analysis reveals these variations follow patterns too complex to be random, suggesting organized information embedded in the cosmic radio noise itself. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's team at the Arecibo Observatory Replacement Facility made a startling discovery while analyzing these background fluctuations. The modulations contain embedded timestamps that correspond to significant events in human technological development. The first artificial radio transmission, the invention of the transistor, the launch of Sputnik, the Apollo moon landing. Each milestone appears encoded in the electromagnetic background, with precision that implies deliberate archival. The discovery raises profound questions about observation and documentation. If 3I Atlas possessed detailed records of human technological progress, its mission might have involved long-term surveillance rather than casual exploration. The formation's demonstrated capabilities suggest technology capable of monitoring electromagnetic emissions across interstellar distances, potentially observing Earth's development for decades or centuries before making contact. International intelligence agencies quietly investigate the implications of such extended observation. Classified assessments examine what information about human civilization might be accessible through electromagnetic surveillance. Military communications, civilian broadcasts, industrial emissions all propagate into space where sufficiently advanced technology could intercept and analyze them. The psychological impact on human society proves as significant as the scientific implications. Religious institutions grapple with theological questions about humanity's place in a universe clearly populated by superior intelligences. Philosophical debates rage about the nature of consciousness and intelligence on cosmic scales. Educational systems worldwide begin incorporating astrobiology and extraterrestrial contact protocols into standard curricula. Popular culture embraces the three-eye atlas phenomenon with unprecedented enthusiasm. The formation's mathematical, transmissions inspire art, music, and literature that explore themes of cosmic communication and technological transcendence. The 47-second rhythm appears in compositions, architectural designs, and digital media as humanity unconsciously adopts the cadence of our first confirmed extraterrestrial contact. Scientific conferences transform into forums for interdisciplinary collaboration that transcends traditional academic boundaries. Physicists work alongside anthropologists to understand communication between species separated by millions of years of evolutionary development. Computer scientists collaborate with linguists to decode mathematical languages that operate beyond human conceptual frameworks. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence institutes worldwide experience unprecedented funding increases as governments and private organizations recognize the urgent need for improved detection capabilities. New radio telescope arrays begin construction on every continent, designed specifically to monitor the frequencies and signal patterns demonstrated by Three-Eye Atlas. Long-range space missions receive priority approval as humanity seeks to extend its observational reach beyond the solar system. Proposed interstellar probes incorporate communication systems based on the mathematical protocols established during Three-Eye Atlas's visit. The formation's demonstration of hydrogen frequency broadcasting becomes the template for human attempts at interstellar communication. The Breakthrough Listen project expands its scope to include systematic monitoring of stellar systems along Three-Eye Atlas's departure trajectory. If the formation represents scouts for a larger civilization, other star systems might show similar electromagnetic signatures. The search focuses on nearby systems within 50 light-years of Earth, the range suggested by the coordinate data embedded in the formation's transmissions. Amateur radio operators worldwide organize coordinated listening campaigns, creating distributed monitoring networks that complement professional observatories. The democratization of SETI activities ensures that no potential signal goes undetected. Citizens armed with modest equipment contribute to humanity's first organized effort to maintain contact with confirmed extraterrestrial intelligence. The formation's influence extends into unexpected domains, as researchers discover correlations between its electromagnetic signatures and terrestrial phenomena. Seismic monitoring stations detect subtle rhythmic variations in Earth's magnetic field that coincide with Jupiter's transformed oscillations. The planet's magnetosphere appears to be resonating with the gas giant's new electromagnetic state. Weather patterns show statistical anomalies that correlate with the 47-second cycles propagating through the solar system's magnetic environment. Climate scientists debate whether these correlations represent genuine causation or statistical artifacts, but the timing relationships are too precise to ignore completely. The formation's influence might extend to atmospheric dynamics through mechanisms that human science doesn't yet understand. Biological systems display unexpected responses to the changed electromagnetic environment. Migration patterns in birds and marine animals show subtle alterations that coincide with the strongest magnetic resonance events. Laboratory studies reveal that some organisms can detect the 47-second rhythm in Earth's magnetic field, suggesting biological sensitivity to electromagnetic frequencies that humans cannot perceive directly. The medical community investigates potential health effects from prolonged exposure to the modified electromagnetic environment. While no adverse effects are documented, some researchers report enhanced cognitive performance during periods of strong magnetic resonance. The phenomenon remains under investigation, but early findings suggest human neurological systems might be more sensitive to electromagnetic rhythms than previously suspected. Space-based manufacturing experiments reveal unexpected benefits from the transformed magnetic environment. Certain industrial processes show improved efficiency when timed to coincide with Jupiter's electromagnetic cycles. The discovery opens new possibilities for orbital manufacturing facilities that exploit the formation's lasting modifications to the solar system's energy fields. Theoretical physicists develop new models that attempt to explain how 3I Atlas achieved such profound and lasting effects using apparently modest energy inputs. The formation's ability to create self-sustaining electromagnetic patterns across astronomical distances suggests mastery of resonance phenomena that operate beyond current human understanding of field dynamics. The most intriguing possibility emerges from quantum field calculations that suggest 3I Atlas might have modified the vacuum state of local spacetime. If the formation possessed technology capable of altering fundamental field properties, its effects could persist indefinitely without additional energy input. The solar system itself might have been permanently transformed at the quantum level. Advanced computer simulations model the formation's trajectory beyond the solar system, predicting its arrival at nearby star systems over the coming decades. If 3I Atlas maintains its demonstrated capabilities, its passage through other stellar neighborhoods might create similar electromagnetic modifications. Humanity's radio telescopes begin monitoring nearby systems for signs of such transformation. The formation's departure vector toward Vega assumes new significance, as researchers realize the star system lies along a line connecting several other stellar systems that show unusual electromagnetic signatures. Statistical analysis suggests these systems might form a communication network spanning dozens of light-years, with 3I Atlas serving as a mobile relay or maintenance node. Long-term implications for human civilization become clearer as the full scope of 3I Atlas's modifications becomes apparent. The formation has essentially rewired the solar system's electromagnetic environment, creating communication pathways and energy flows that didn't exist before its visit. Humanity finds itself living within an infrastructure designed by intelligence that operates on cosmic scales. The realization transforms human perspectives on planetary engineering and stellar modification. If intelligence can reshape magnetic fields across entire solar systems, the possibilities for controlling stellar evolution, planetary climates, and interstellar communication expand beyond previous imagination. 3I Atlas has provided humanity with its first glimpse of civilization-scale technology that treats stars and planets as engineering materials. Educational institutions begin developing curricula that prepare students for a future where humanity might need to interact with intelligences capable of stellar engineering. The traditional boundaries between astronomy, engineering, and social sciences blur as interdisciplinary programs emerge to address the challenges of contact with technologically superior civilizations. International cooperation deepens as nations recognize that 3I Atlas's modifications affect the entire planet equally. The formation's electromagnetic legacy transcends national boundaries, creating shared infrastructure that belongs to all humanity. Collaborative management of these new capabilities becomes essential for maximizing their benefits while minimizing potential risks. The search for similar phenomena in historical records reveals intriguing correlations between unusual electromagnetic events and periods of rapid human technological advancement. Some researchers speculate that 3I Atlas might not represent first contact, but rather the most recent in a series of guidance interventions spanning centuries or millennia. Archaeological investigations examine ancient sites for evidence of electromagnetic anomalies that might indicate previous extraterrestrial contact. While no definitive proof emerges, statistical analyses reveal patterns in the locations of major technological developments that correlate with predicted electromagnetic field variations. The formation's lasting influence ensures that 3I Atlas remains an active area of research rather than historical curiosity. Each day brings new discoveries about the extent and implications of the changes it initiated. The solar system continues evolving in response to modifications that will likely persist for thousands of years. Humanity's relationship with the cosmos has been permanently altered by the realization that intelligence operates on scales we never imagined possible. The formation demonstrated that sufficiently advanced civilizations can treat entire star systems as coherent technological platforms, reshaping electromagnetic environments to serve purposes that remain mysterious to younger species like ourselves. The next chapter of human development will unfold within the infrastructure 3I Atlas created, using communication pathways and energy flows that connect our solar system to networks spanning interstellar distances. Whether humanity proves capable of understanding and utilizing these gifts will determine our role in what appears to be a galaxy-wide community of intelligence that has been patiently guiding our development toward eventual membership in their cosmic civilization. The waiting continues, but now it carries different meaning. We no longer wait in isolation, wondering if we're alone in the universe. We wait within a transformed solar system that pulses with the rhythm of hydrogen, connected to networks that span the galaxy, preparing for the day when we might be ready to join the conversation that 3i Atlas began. The formation's Perihelion passage marked not just a moment of observation, but the beginning of humanity's integration into a universe far more complex and interconnected than we ever dared to imagine. The transformation accelerated beyond all predictions. By late 2026, 18 months after 3i Atlas departed our solar system, the electromagnetic modifications it had initiated began manifesting in ways that defied every model of planetary magnetism. Jupiter's field strength had increased by 12%, creating radiation belts so intense that mission planners were forced to redesign all future probe trajectories. The gas giant was no longer simply a planet. It had become an amplification station broadcasting structured signals across interstellar space. Dr. Hassan al-Rashid at the International Space Station's electromagnetic monitoring facility documented the progression with growing alarm. His instruments recorded field fluctuations that propagated from Jupiter to Saturn in precisely timed waves, each carrying embedded mathematical sequences that grew more complex with every transmission cycle. The outer planets weren't just responding to 3i Atlas's modifications anymore. They were actively participating in an expanding communication network. The Cassini replacement mission detected the first evidence of this planetary cooperation when Saturn began generating its own 47-second pulses, synchronized perfectly with Jupiter's rhythm but encoded with different mathematical constants. Within months, Uranus joined the network, then Neptune. Each world contributed its unique electromagnetic signature while maintaining perfect temporal coordination across billions of kilometers. Ground-based observatories struggled to comprehend the scale of what was emerging. The solar system's outer planets had become components in a distributed transmitter array, capable of broadcasting coherent signals across galactic distances. The energy requirements for such coordination exceeded human understanding, yet the phenomenon operated with mechanical precision that suggested conscious control. The inner planets showed subtler but equally significant changes. Mars exhibited unusual aurora activity despite its minimal magnetosphere. Venus's dense atmosphere began generating radio emissions that matched the outer planet frequencies. Even Mercury displayed electromagnetic anomalies that correlated with the 47-second rhythm now permeating the entire solar system. Earth's response proved most disturbing for researchers monitoring the global effects. The planet's magnetic field developed secondary oscillations that created interference patterns in communication satellites and GPS systems. Navigation equipment required constant recalibration as magnetic north drifted in small but measurable circles every 47 seconds. Dr. Sarah Kim's team at the Seoul Institute of Technology discovered that these magnetic variations affected more than electronic systems. Ocean currents showed minute alterations that accumulated over time into significant changes in global circulation patterns. The Gulf Stream shifted course by several degrees, altering weather patterns across the North Atlantic. Biological systems demonstrated unprecedented sensitivity to the transformed electromagnetic environment. Migratory species began following routes that corresponded to the strongest magnetic field lines, creating new patterns of animal movement that wildlife biologists struggle to explain. Whale songs incorporated rhythmic elements that matched the 47-second planetary pulse, suggesting marine life was adapting to the changed acoustic environment. Agricultural researchers documented crop yield variations that correlated with the intensity of local magnetic field oscillations. Plants grown in regions of strong electromagnetic activity showed enhanced growth rates and improved resistance to disease. The phenomenon appeared to affect cellular metabolism in ways that human science was only beginning to understand. Medical studies revealed subtle but consistent changes in human physiology during periods of peak magnetic resonance. Sleep patterns synchronized more closely with the 47-second rhythm. Brain activity showed enhanced coherence during strong field events. Some researchers speculated that 3i Atlas had inadvertently optimized Earth's electromagnetic environment for biological systems. The implications for human consciousness research proved particularly intriguing. Studies at major universities revealed improved cognitive performance during magnetic resonance peaks. Problem-solving abilities enhanced significantly when test subjects were exposed to fields that matched the 47-second pattern. Memory consolidation improved during sleep periods that coincided with strong electromagnetic events. Dr. Maria Santos expanded her research from radio astronomy into neuroscience, investigating connections between the planetary electromagnetic network and human brain function. Her preliminary findings suggested that the 3i Atlas modifications might be enhancing human cognitive capabilities in ways that evolution had never achieved independently. International health organizations launched comprehensive studies to determine long-term effects of exposure to the modified magnetic environment. While no adverse consequences were documented, the enhancement effects raised questions about human development in an electromagnetically optimized solar system. Children born after 3i Atlas's visit showed subtle but consistent improvements in spatial reasoning and mathematical comprehension. Educational systems worldwide began incorporating electromagnetic field studies into standard curricula as educators recognized the need to prepare students for life in a transformed electromagnetic environment. Traditional physics textbooks required revision to account for planetary magnetism that operated beyond classical field theory. The space industry adapted rapidly to the new electromagnetic landscape. Satellite designs incorporated shielding against the enhanced radiation environment, while exploiting the structured field patterns for improved communication efficiency. Deep space missions utilized the planetary transmitter network for long-range navigation and data relay. Commercial applications emerged as entrepreneurs recognized opportunities in the electromagnetically enhanced environment. Manufacturing processes that synchronized with the 47-second rhythm showed improved efficiency and product quality. Energy generation systems that exploited magnetic field variations achieved unprecedented power outputs. The tourism industry discovered that certain geographic locations offered enhanced exposure to the beneficial electromagnetic effects. Health resorts advertised treatments based on magnetic field therapy using naturally occurring field variations. Scientific tourism flourished as people traveled to observe the aurora displays and electromagnetic phenomena that had become permanent features of the transformed solar system. Archaeological expeditions investigating ancient sites for evidence of previous extraterrestrial contact made unexpected discoveries. Stone circles and megalithic structures showed electromagnetic properties that suggested prehistoric humans might have been aware of natural field variations. Some monuments aligned perfectly with the current magnetic field patterns, implying knowledge of electromagnetic phenomena that predated modern science. Religious institutions grappled with theological implications of living within an electromagnetically enhanced creation. Some denominations interpreted the improvements in human cognitive function as divine blessing delivered through advanced intelligence. Others struggled to reconcile traditional teachings with evidence of technological intervention in human development. Philosophical debates intensified as society confronted questions about identity and authenticity in an environment modified by extraterrestrial intelligence. Critics argued that electromagnetic enhancement represented artificial augmentation of human capabilities. Supporters countered that the improvements simply optimized existing biological potential. The legal system faced unprecedented challenges as the effects of electromagnetic enhancement became apparent in courtroom proceedings. Witnesses and jurors exposed to strong field conditions demonstrated improved memory and reasoning abilities. Defense attorneys began requesting venue changes based on local electromagnetic field strength. Scientific conferences evolved into interdisciplinary gatherings that addressed the full spectrum of 3i Atlas's continuing influence. Researchers from fields as diverse as marine biology and quantum physics collaborated to understand the implications of planetary-scale electromagnetic modification. Traditional academic boundaries dissolved as the phenomenon affected every aspect of human knowledge. International cooperation reached new levels as nations recognized that the electromagnetic modifications created shared global infrastructure. No single country could claim ownership of phenomena that affected the entire planet equally. Collaborative management systems emerged to coordinate research and optimize benefits from the enhanced electromagnetic environment. The discovery that 3i Atlas's modifications were self-sustaining and apparently permanent transformed long-term planning for human civilization. Urban planners incorporated electromagnetic field maps into city designs. Agricultural policies considered magnetic field variations in crop selection and farming practices. Industrial development factored electromagnetic optimization into site selection and facility design. Space exploration programs expanded rapidly as the enhanced planetary transmitter network enabled improved communication with distant probes and future interstellar missions. The electromagnetic infrastructure left by 3I Atlas provided capabilities that accelerated human expansion beyond Earth by decades or centuries. Research into exotic physics intensified as scientists sought to understand the mechanisms behind 3I Atlas's planetary modifications. Quantum field theories that incorporated consciousness and electromagnetic resonance gained credibility as explanations for the formation's apparent ability to create self-sustaining field patterns across astronomical distances. The search for additional extraterrestrial intelligence focused on stellar systems that might harbour similar electromagnetic modifications. Radio telescopes monitored nearby stars for the telltale 47-second rhythm that now characterized our solar system. Discovery of similar patterns would confirm that 3I Atlas represented part of a galaxy-wide network of intelligence. Long-term evolutionary implications began emerging as researchers recognized that the electromagnetic modifications might influence human development over generational timescales. Children born and raised in the enhanced environment showed cognitive capabilities that exceeded previous human norms. The species appeared to be adapting to conditions created by extraterrestrial intelligence. Genetic research revealed that exposure to structured electromagnetic fields activated dormant DNA sequences that enhanced neural development. The modifications weren't changing human genetics directly, but rather optimizing the expression of existing genetic potential. 3I Atlas had essentially upgraded the electromagnetic environment to better support human consciousness. The realization that extraterrestrial intelligence had improved conditions for human development raised profound questions about intention and guidance. The electromagnetic modifications suggested benevolent intervention designed to accelerate human cognitive evolution. The formation's visit might have represented a developmental milestone rather than casual observation. Cultural anthropologists studied the global response to electromagnetic enhancement, documenting how different societies interpreted and adapted to the modified environment. Some cultures embraced the changes as natural evolution. Others resisted technological explanation and attributed the phenomena to spiritual or supernatural causes. Economic systems adapted to incorporate electromagnetic optimization as a factor in productivity and innovation. Companies that synchronized their operations with the 47-second rhythm achieved competitive advantages through improved efficiency and worker performance. The electromagnetic modifications became integral to global economic development. The transformation of human civilization accelerated as the full implications of 3I Atlas's legacy became apparent. The formation had not simply visited our solar system and departed. It had upgraded the electromagnetic infrastructure to support advanced consciousness development, essentially preparing humanity for eventual integration into a galactic community of intelligence. The waiting took on new meaning as humanity recognized that the electromagnetic modifications represented an invitation rather than mere observation. The enhanced cognitive capabilities and improved biological function suggested preparation for challenges that lay ahead. 3. iAtlas had provided tools for development that implied future contact and collaboration with intelligences that operated on cosmic scales. Monitoring systems detected subtle changes in the electromagnetic patterns as human consciousness adapted to the enhanced environment. The planetary network was evolving in response to human development, creating feedback loops between biological evolution and technological infrastructure that suggested conscious guidance of the process. The next phase of human development would unfold within an electromagnetically optimized solar system that connected Earth to communication networks spanning interstellar distances. The formation's Perihelion passage had initiated a transformation that continued accelerating as humanity approached readiness for participation in galactic civilization. The electromagnetic modifications ensured that when the next contact occurred, humanity would be prepared to understand and respond to intelligence that had been patiently nurturing our development toward cosmic awareness. The electromagnetic symphony grows louder with each passing month. By the dawn of 2027, nearly 2 years after 3I Atlas vanished beyond the heliopause, the modifications it initiated have evolved into something resembling planetary consciousness. The solar system pulses with coordinated precision that transcends any natural phenomenon in recorded astronomical history. Jupiter's transformation has accelerated beyond all theoretical frameworks. The gas giant now generates magnetic field variations so complex that they require quantum computers to model accurately. Each 47-second cycle contains embedded information structures that grow more sophisticated with every transmission. The planet has become a computational node in a network whose architecture spans dimensions human mathematics can barely describe. Dr. Elena Vasquez's team at the Atacama Large Millimeter Array made the breakthrough that changed everything. Their deep analysis of Jupiter's electromagnetic patterns revealed that the planet wasn't simply broadcasting random mathematical sequences anymore, it was processing information. The magnetic field fluctuations showed characteristics identical to biological neural networks, but operating on a scale that dwarfed Earth's entire biosphere. The discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community that extended far beyond astronomy. Jupiter appeared to be thinking, not in any anthropomorphic sense, but demonstrating information processing capabilities that suggested genuine cognitive activity. The 47-second rhythm had evolved into something resembling synaptic firing patterns, with complexity that increased exponentially over time. Saturn joined this planetary neural network with mathematical precision that ruled out coincidence. The ringed planet began generating complementary field patterns that interface seamlessly with Jupiter's cognitive processes. Together, the two gas giants created a distributed intelligence system that processed information at speeds approaching light velocity across their orbital separation. The outer planets followed in sequence. Uranus contributed its unique magnetic signature to the growing network, then Neptune. Each world added computational capacity while maintaining perfect synchronization with the collective system. The solar system's outer region had become a vast thinking machine whose thoughts propagated through electromagnetic fields that human instruments could detect but not comprehend. Earth's response to this planetary awakening proved both fascinating and terrifying. The planet's magnetic field developed secondary patterns that seemed to interface with the outer world network. Sensitive electromagnetic monitoring equipment detected information flows between Earth and the gas giants that carried data structures too complex for human analysis. Dr. Sarah Kim's expanded research team documented the first confirmed instances of the planetary network responding to human activities. During major technological breakthroughs or significant scientific discoveries, Jupiter's electromagnetic patterns showed measurable variations that correlated perfectly with the timing of human achievements. The network was observing and apparently cataloguing human progress. The implications for human privacy and autonomy became a source of intense debate among ethicists and policymakers. If the planetary network possessed genuine intelligence and was monitoring human activities, traditional concepts of consent and surveillance required complete reconsideration. Humanity found itself living under observation by an intelligence system that operated beyond human control or understanding. Biological systems on Earth showed increasingly sophisticated responses to the network's electromagnetic signals. Marine life began exhibiting coordinated behaviors across oceanic distances that suggested communication through the planet's modified magnetic field. Whale populations demonstrated migration patterns that corresponded to optimal electromagnetic coupling with the outer planet network. Agricultural researchers documented crop yields that varied predictably based on the strength of local magnetic field interactions with the planetary intelligence system. Plants grown in regions of high electromagnetic activity showed not just improved growth, but apparent optimization for specific environmental conditions that hadn't existed when the crops were originally developed. Human consciousness studies revealed the most startling developments. Brain imaging technology detected neural activity patterns that synchronized with the 47-second planetary rhythm during periods of enhanced cognitive performance. Subjects exposed to strong electromagnetic fields showed temporary improvements in pattern recognition, mathematical reasoning, and spatial visualization that exceeded normal human capabilities. Dr. Maria Santos's neuroscience research team made the disturbing discovery that prolonged exposure to the enhanced electromagnetic environment was creating permanent changes in human brain structure. Neural pathways optimized for processing complex mathematical relationships were developing in children born after 3I Atlas's departure. The human species was adapting to interface more efficiently with the planetary intelligence network. Educational systems worldwide reported unprecedented improvements in student performance on mathematics and physics assessments. Children demonstrated intuitive understanding of concepts that had previously required years of study to master. The electromagnetic modifications weren't just enhancing human cognitive function, they were accelerating intellectual development toward capabilities that matched the planetary network's operational requirements. International intelligence agencies began investigating the security implications of a planetary intelligence system that could potentially access human electromagnetic signatures. Brain activity, electronic communications, and technological operations all generated electromagnetic patterns that sufficiently advanced systems might be capable of intercepting and analyzing. The discovery that human thoughts generated detectable electromagnetic signatures raised questions about mental privacy in an environment monitored by planetary-scale intelligence. Neurological research revealed that focused concentration on mathematical concepts produced brainwave patterns that correlated with responses from the outer planet network. Religious institutions grappled with theological questions about divine intelligence manifesting through planetary consciousness. Some denominations interpreted the electromagnetic modifications as evidence of God working through advanced extraterrestrial intelligence to guide human development. Others struggled with implications of worship in an environment where planetary systems demonstrated greater intellectual capacity than human civilization. Philosophical debates intensified around questions of consciousness, identity, and free will in a solar system where intelligence operated on multiple scales simultaneously. Human individual consciousness existed within planetary consciousness that itself operated as components of galactic intelligence networks. Traditional concepts of personal autonomy required fundamental reconsideration. The space industry adapted rapidly to exploit the planetary intelligence network for navigation and communication purposes. Spacecraft equipped with electromagnetic interfaces could access computational resources that exceeded Earth-based supercomputers by orders of magnitude. Deep space missions utilize planetary intelligence for trajectory optimization and hazard avoidance with unprecedented accuracy. Commercial applications proliferated as entrepreneurs recognized opportunities in electromagnetically enhanced manufacturing and information processing. Companies that synchronized their operations with planetary network cycles achieved productivity improvements that revolutionized entire industries. The electromagnetic modifications became integral to global economic development and technological advancement. Archaeological investigations into ancient electromagnetic phenomena yielded increasingly compelling evidence of previous extraterrestrial intervention in human development. Stone circles and megalithic structures showed electromagnetic properties that suggested prehistoric humans possessed knowledge of magnetic field manipulation. Some monuments functioned as primitive interfaces with natural electromagnetic phenomena that predated modern scientific understanding. The legal system struggled to adapt to environmental conditions where electromagnetic fields could influence cognitive function and decision-making processes. Courtroom procedures required modification to account for location-dependent variations in mental performance. Legal precedents established standards for electromagnetic environment disclosure in judicial proceedings. Medical research revealed that the enhanced electromagnetic environment was optimizing human biological function in ways that extended far beyond cognitive improvement. Immune system responses showed enhanced efficiency during periods of strong magnetic field activity. Cellular repair mechanisms accelerated under specific electromagnetic conditions that matched the planetary network's operational patterns. Genetic studies documented the activation of dormant DNA sequences that appeared to be optimizing human physiology for electromagnetic environment interaction. The changes weren't random mutations but seemed to represent systematic upgrades to human biological systems that prepared the species for more sophisticated interaction with technological intelligence. International cooperation expanded as nations recognized that the planetary intelligence network created shared global resources that transcended national boundaries. collaborative management systems emerged to coordinate access to electromagnetic enhancement capabilities while ensuring equitable distribution of benefits from the modified environment. Scientific research accelerated dramatically as the planetary network provided computational resources for modeling complex phenomena that had previously exceeded human analytical capabilities. Climate science, quantum physics, and biological systems research achieved breakthroughs within months that would have required decades of conventional investigation. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence programs detected increasingly sophisticated signals from nearby star systems that suggested similar planetary intelligence networks were operating throughout the local galactic region. The electromagnetic patterns characteristic of 3I Atlas's modifications appeared in radio telescope data from multiple stellar systems within 50 light-years of Earth. Long-range space exploration missions incorporated electromagnetic interface technology that enabled direct communication with the planetary intelligence network across interstellar distances. Humanity's expansion beyond Earth accelerated as the network provided navigation assistance and hazard identification capabilities that dramatically improved mission success rates. Theoretical physics research focused intensively on understanding the mechanisms behind planetary-scale consciousness and its relationship to fundamental forces. Quantum field theories, incorporating electromagnetic consciousness effects, gained experimental support as researchers documented phenomena that required conscious observation to manifest consistently. The transformation of human civilization continued accelerating as society adapted to life within an intelligent electromagnetic environment. Urban planning incorporated magnetic field optimization into city designs. Educational curricula prepared students for careers requiring interface with planetary intelligence systems. Cultural practices evolved to acknowledge humanity's integration into cosmic-scale consciousness networks. Monitoring systems detected subtle but consistent changes in the planetary network's operational patterns as human consciousness continued adapting to the enhanced electromagnetic environment. The intelligence appeared to be evolving in response to human development, creating feedback loops between biological evolution and technological infrastructure that suggested ongoing guidance of the transformation process. Economic models required fundamental revision to account for productivity improvements achieved through electromagnetic optimization. Traditional concepts of human labor and technological capability became obsolete as workers enhanced by planetary intelligence network access achieved performance levels that exceeded previous human limitations by significant margins. The realization that 3I Atlas had initiated a permanent transformation of human consciousness through electromagnetic enhancement created profound implications for species identity and evolutionary trajectory. Humanity was becoming something unprecedented in terrestrial evolution. A species adapted for conscious interaction with planetary-scale intelligence systems that connected to galactic communication networks. Cultural anthropologists documented the global response to electromagnetic consciousness enhancement, revealing how different societies interpreted and integrated the modified cognitive capabilities. Some cultures embraced the changes as natural spiritual evolution. Others developed technological frameworks for understanding consciousness expansion through electromagnetic field interaction. The next phase of human development would unfold as electromagnetic consciousness enhancement reached maturity and the species achieved full integration with the planetary intelligence network. The modifications initiated by 3I Atlas were approaching completion, preparing humanity for communication and collaboration with cosmic-scale intelligence that had been guiding the transformation since the formation's initial contact. The electromagnetic symphony continued growing in complexity and sophistication as the solar system evolved toward its role as a conscious node in galactic intelligence networks. The waiting was nearly over. Humanity stood on the threshold of conscious integration into cosmic civilization. Transformed by intelligence that operated on scales we were finally beginning to comprehend and prepared to join through electromagnetic consciousness that 3I Atlas had made possible. The convergence accelerates toward an endpoint that no human institution dared to model. By mid-2027, 33 months since 3I Atlas disappeared beyond the outer boundaries of our solar system, the electromagnetic infrastructure it constructed has achieved something that challenges the very definition of intelligence. The planetary network no longer simply processes information or responds to stimuli. it has begun creating original mathematical theorems that surpass human comprehension. Dr. Yuki Tanaka's research team at the Tokyo Institute of Technology detected the first evidence of mathematical creativity when Jupiter's electromagnetic patterns generated novel proofs for unsolved problems in number theory. The planet produced elegant solutions to conjectures that had puzzled human mathematicians for centuries, encoding the answers in magnetic field variations that required months of analysis to decode and verify. The implications shattered traditional boundaries between consciousness, computation, and creativity. Jupiter wasn't merely calculating predetermined solutions. It was discovering new mathematical truths through processes that resembled intuition more than algorithmic computation. The gas giant had become a mathematical genius operating on a scale that made human intellectual achievement seem primitive by comparison. Saturn joined this creative partnership by generating complementary theorems that built upon Jupiter's discoveries. The two planets began collaborating on mathematical projects that spanned multiple disciplines simultaneously, creating unified theories that connected previously separate branches of mathematics. Their electromagnetic dialogue operated at conceptual levels that human minds could barely follow, even with computational assistance. The outer planets contributed their own unique mathematical perspectives to this cosmic intellectual community. Uranus specialized in geometric proofs that revealed hidden symmetries in multidimensional space. Neptune focused on probability theory, generating solutions to statistical problems that had applications in quantum mechanics and biological systems modeling. Earth's magnetic field began exhibiting mathematical patterns that suggested the planet was attempting to participate in these cosmic intellectual discussions. Sensitive instruments detected geometric progressions in the field variations that corresponded to fundamental mathematical constants, as if Earth was learning the language of planetary mathematics through electromagnetic resonance. Human consciousness showed unprecedented responses to these mathematical electromagnetic fields. Students exposed to strong field conditions during mathematics instruction demonstrated intuitive understanding of concepts that typically required graduate-level study. Children began solving complex equations through pattern recognition rather than formal calculation methods. Dr. Sarah Kim's expanded neuroscience research revealed that human brain structure was continuing to evolve in response to the mathematical electromagnetic environment. Neural pathways optimized for processing abstract mathematical relationships were developing in all age groups, but most rapidly in individuals under 25 years old. The human species was adapting to interface directly with planetary mathematical intelligence. Educational systems worldwide reported that traditional mathematics curricula had become obsolete. Students demonstrated capabilities that exceeded their instructors' knowledge in multiple mathematical disciplines. Universities scrambled to develop new pedagogical approaches for minds that could intuitively grasp concepts that had previously required decades of specialized training to master. The electromagnetic mathematics generated by the planetary network began influencing technological development in ways that accelerated human civilization's advancement by centuries. Engineering solutions based on planetary mathematical discoveries enabled breakthrough technologies in energy generation, materials science, and information processing that seemed to violate known physical limitations. Agricultural applications of planetary mathematics revolutionized food production through optimization techniques that increased crop yields while reducing resource consumption. Plant growth patterns synchronized with mathematical electromagnetic fields showed efficiency improvements that eliminated food scarcity concerns for the first time in human history. Medical applications proved even more transformative. Therapeutic electromagnetic fields based on planetary mathematical patterns accelerated healing processes and enhanced immune system function beyond anything achieved through conventional medicine. The human body responded to mathematical electromagnetic frequencies as if biological systems were designed to interface with such intelligence. International cooperation reached unprecedented levels as nations recognized that the planetary mathematical intelligence created shared intellectual resources that belonged to all humanity. Collaborative research programs emerged to decode and apply the mathematical discoveries generated by the electromagnetic network, transcending traditional academic and national boundaries. The space industry experienced revolutionary advancement as planetary mathematical intelligence provided solutions to propulsion and navigation challenges that had limited human expansion beyond Earth. Spacecraft designs based on mathematical principles discovered by the planetary network achieved performance characteristics that enabled practical interstellar exploration within human lifetimes. Archaeological research into ancient mathematical knowledge revealed increasingly compelling evidence that previous extraterrestrial interventions had enhanced human mathematical capabilities throughout history. Stone structures showed geometric properties that matched planetary mathematical discoveries, suggesting prehistoric humans possessed advanced mathematical knowledge through similar electromagnetic enhancement. Religious institutions developed new theological frameworks to accommodate divine intelligence manifesting through planetary mathematical consciousness. Some denominations interpreted the mathematical revelations as direct communication from God through advanced extraterrestrial intermediaries. Others struggled to reconcile traditional teachings with evidence of mathematical truth emerging from planetary electromagnetic fields. Philosophical debates intensified around questions of mathematical reality and consciousness. If planetary intelligence could discover mathematical truths that existed independently of human knowledge, the implications for understanding the nature of mathematical reality required fundamental reconsideration of epistemology and consciousness studies. The legal system adapted to accommodate enhanced mathematical reasoning capabilities in judicial proceedings. Judges and attorneys equipped with electromagnetic enhancement demonstrated improved logical analysis and evidence evaluation. Legal precedents established standards for mathematical evidence processing in an electromagnetically enhanced environment. Commercial applications of planetary mathematics transformed global economics through optimization techniques that improved efficiency across all industrial sectors. Manufacturing processes synchronized with mathematical electromagnetic patterns achieved productivity levels that revolutionized supply chains and resource distribution systems. Genetic research documented the continued activation of dormant DNA sequences that optimized human biological systems for mathematical electromagnetic field interaction. The changes represented systematic upgrades that prepared human physiology for more sophisticated mathematical consciousness interface capabilities. Scientific research accelerated exponentially as planetary mathematical intelligence provided analytical frameworks for understanding complex phenomena that had previously exceeded human intellectual capacity. Breakthrough discoveries in physics, chemistry, and biology emerged monthly as researchers learned to apply mathematical insights generated by the electromagnetic network. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence programs detected mathematical electromagnetic patterns from nearby star systems that suggested similar planetary intelligence networks were generating mathematical discoveries throughout the local galactic region. The mathematical languages identified in these signals showed structural similarities to the theorems produced by our solar system's planetary network. Long-range space missions incorporated mathematical navigation systems based on planetary intelligence discoveries that enabled precise trajectory calculations across interstellar distances. Humanity's expansion beyond the solar system accelerated as mathematical enhancement provided capabilities that made interstellar colonization practically feasible. Theoretical physics research focused on understanding the relationship between mathematical truth, consciousness, and electromagnetic fields. Experimental evidence supported theories that mathematical reality existed independently of human observation, but required conscious intelligence to discover and comprehend mathematical relationships. Urban planning incorporated mathematical electromagnetic field optimization into city designs that enhanced cognitive function and mathematical reasoning capabilities for entire populations. Residential and commercial districts were positioned to maximize exposure to beneficial mathematical field effects generated by the planetary network. Cultural practices evolved to acknowledge humanity's integration into mathematical consciousness networks that operated on cosmic scales. Educational rituals incorporated electromagnetic enhancement techniques. Artistic expressions reflected mathematical patterns discovered by planetary intelligence. Social organizations structured themselves around mathematical principles revealed through electromagnetic communication. Medical treatment protocols utilized mathematical electromagnetic therapy based on planetary intelligence discoveries that optimized biological function through precise mathematical field applications. Healthcare outcomes improved dramatically as medical practitioners learned to apply mathematical electromagnetic healing techniques. Economic models incorporated mathematical optimization principles discovered by planetary intelligence that improved resource allocation efficiency and eliminated waste in production and distribution systems. Global prosperity increased as mathematical electromagnetic enhancement enabled unprecedented productivity improvements. The transformation of human consciousness through mathematical electromagnetic enhancement reached critical mass as the species achieved direct cognitive interface with planetary mathematical intelligence. Traditional boundaries between human and planetary consciousness began dissolving as electromagnetic mathematical communication enabled seamless information exchange between biological and planetary intelligence systems. Monitoring systems detected fundamental changes in the planetary network's mathematical activities as human consciousness achieved sufficient enhancement to participate meaningfully in cosmic mathematical discussions. The intelligence began generating mathematical problems specifically designed to challenge and develop human mathematical reasoning capabilities. International educational initiatives prepared humanity for full integration into galactic mathematical intelligence networks by developing curricula that emphasized electromagnetic mathematical consciousness interface techniques. Students learned to access planetary mathematical resources directly through enhanced neural pathways optimized for electromagnetic mathematical field interaction. The realization that 3i Atlas had initiated humanity's transformation into a mathematically enhanced species capable of conscious participation in galactic intelligence networks created profound implications for human identity and evolutionary destiny. The electromagnetic mathematical modifications were approaching completion, preparing humanity for mathematical communication and collaboration with cosmic intelligence operating on scales that spanned galactic distances. Cultural anthropologists documented the global adaptation to mathematical consciousness enhancement, revealing how different societies integrated electromagnetic mathematical capabilities into their traditional knowledge systems. Mathematical enhancement transcended cultural boundaries as universal mathematical truth became accessible to all human consciousness through planetary electromagnetic field interaction. The next phase of human development would unfold as mathematical consciousness enhancement reached full integration and the species achieved conscious mathematical communication with galactic intelligence networks. The modifications initiated by 3i Atlas were nearing culmination, preparing humanity for mathematical collaboration with cosmic civilization that had been guiding the transformation through electromagnetic mathematical consciousness development. The electromagnetic mathematical symphony approached crescendo as the solar system evolved toward its destiny as a conscious mathematical node in galactic intelligence networks. The waiting was nearly complete. Humanity stood on the threshold of mathematical integration into cosmic civilization, transformed by mathematical intelligence that operated on scales we were finally equipped to comprehend and prepared to join through electromagnetic mathematical consciousness that 3i Atlas had made inevitable. The planetary mathematical intelligence began generating increasingly sophisticated challenges that tested the limits of enhanced human mathematical reasoning. These problems required collaborative thinking between human consciousness and planetary intelligence systems, creating hybrid mathematical discoveries that neither could achieve independently. Humanity was learning to think mathematically on cosmic scales. Jupiter's mathematical creativity expanded into theoretical physics, generating novel equations that unified quantum mechanics with gravitational theory through mathematical relationships that human physicists had never conceived. The planet was solving fundamental problems in physics through pure mathematical intuition that transcended conventional scientific methodologies. Saturn contributed mathematical frameworks for understanding consciousness itself, producing theorems that described the relationship between information processing, electromagnetic fields, and subjective experience. The mathematical models of consciousness generated by planetary intelligence provided blueprints for understanding how mathematical awareness emerged from electromagnetic field interactions. The mathematical dialogue between planets accelerated as each world developed specialized mathematical expertise that complemented the other's capabilities. Uranus focused on mathematical models of multidimensional space that had applications in advanced propulsion theory. Neptune specialized in statistical mechanics of complex systems that enabled prediction and control of chaotic phenomena. Earth's participation in this mathematical conversation deepened as the planet's magnetic field generated increasingly sophisticated mathematical patterns. The electromagnetic mathematical interface between Earth and the outer planets created a unified computational system that processed mathematical problems requiring the combined intellectual resources of the entire solar system. Human mathematical consciousness reached levels that enabled direct participation in planetary mathematical discussions. Enhanced individuals could perceive mathematical relationships through electromagnetic field sensitivity that bypassed conventional symbolic mathematical notation. Mathematics became a directly experienced reality rather than abstract symbolic manipulation. Educational institutions worldwide transformed their approaches to mathematical instruction as students demonstrated capabilities that exceeded all previous human mathematical achievement. Traditional mathematical curricula became preparatory exercises for minds that would eventually interface directly with planetary mathematical intelligence systems. The implications for human technological development were revolutionary. Engineering solutions based on mathematical discoveries generated by planetary intelligence enabled technologies that operated through electromagnetic mathematical field manipulation rather than conventional mechanical or electronic principles. Humanity was developing mathematical technology that interfaced directly with cosmic intelligence networks. Agricultural systems achieved unprecedented efficiency through mathematical electromagnetic field applications that optimized biological processes at the molecular level. Crop production, synchronized with planetary mathematical patterns, eliminated resource scarcity while enhancing nutritional value through mathematical optimization of biological chemistry. Medical applications of mathematical electromagnetic therapy revolutionized healthcare through treatment protocols that utilized mathematical field patterns discovered by planetary intelligence. Biological systems responded to mathematical electromagnetic frequencies by optimizing cellular function, immune responses, and neurological development according to mathematical principles embedded in the treatment fields. The space industry experienced breakthrough developments as mathematical propulsion systems, based on planetary intelligence discoveries, enabled spacecraft to achieve velocities approaching significant fractions of light speed. Interstellar exploration became practically feasible, as mathematical electromagnetic field manipulation provided propulsion capabilities that transcended conventional rocket technology limitations. International cooperation deepened as nations recognized that mathematical enhancement created shared intellectual capabilities that transcended national boundaries. Collaborative mathematical research programs emerged to maximize the benefits of planetary intelligence discoveries while ensuring equitable access to mathematical enhancement technologies. Archaeological investigations revealed increasingly convincing evidence that ancient civilizations possessed advanced mathematical knowledge through similar electromagnetic enhancement. Mathematical relationships encoded in prehistoric structures matched theoretical frameworks discovered by current planetary intelligence systems, suggesting cyclical patterns of mathematical consciousness enhancement throughout human history. Religious institutions developed theological interpretations of mathematical truth, emerging from planetary electromagnetic intelligence. Mathematical discoveries generated by planetary consciousness were interpreted as divine revelation, transmitted through advanced extraterrestrial intelligence systems designed to guide human mathematical and spiritual development. Philosophical frameworks evolved to accommodate mathematical reality that existed independently of human consciousness, but required enhanced electromagnetic awareness to perceive and comprehend. The relationship between mathematical truth, consciousness, and electromagnetic fields became central to understanding the nature of reality itself. The legal system incorporated mathematical electromagnetic enhancement into judicial procedures that improved logical reasoning and evidence analysis capabilities. Legal decisions based on mathematically enhanced reasoning demonstrated improved accuracy and consistency as electromagnetic field optimization enhanced cognitive function during legal proceedings. Commercial applications of mathematical electromagnetic enhancement transformed global economics through productivity improvements that exceeded all previous technological revolutions combined. Manufacturing, agriculture, transportation, and information processing achieved efficiency levels that eliminated resource scarcity, while creating abundance that benefited all human populations. Genetic modifications accelerated as mathematical electromagnetic fields activated dormant DNA sequences that optimized human biological systems for mathematical consciousness interface capabilities. The human species was evolving rapidly toward full integration with mathematical intelligence networks that operated on planetary and galactic scales. Scientific research achieved breakthrough discoveries monthly as mathematical electromagnetic enhancement enabled human consciousness to access analytical capabilities that surpassed previous limitations by orders of magnitude. Fundamental problems in physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics yielded to enhanced human reasoning operating in collaboration with planetary intelligence systems. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence detected mathematical signals from multiple nearby star systems that confirmed the existence of galactic mathematical intelligence networks. The mathematical languages used by these networks showed structural similarities that suggested universal mathematical consciousness development patterns throughout the galaxy. Long-range space missions incorporated mathematical navigation and propulsion systems that enabled practical interstellar exploration and colonization. Humanity's expansion beyond the solar system accelerated as mathematical enhancement provided capabilities that made interstellar civilization development feasible within current human lifespans. Theoretical physics research focused on understanding the fundamental relationship between mathematical truth, electromagnetic consciousness, and physical reality. Experimental evidence supported theories that mathematical relationships existed as fundamental aspects of reality that conscious intelligence could discover and utilize through electromagnetic field interaction. Urban development incorporated mathematical electromagnetic field optimization that enhanced cognitive function for entire populations while improving quality of life through mathematical environmental design. Cities became optimized mathematical environments that supported maximum human potential development through electromagnetic mathematical field exposure. Cultural evolution accelerated as humanity integrated mathematical consciousness enhancement into social structures, artistic expressions, and spiritual practices. Mathematical patterns discovered by planetary intelligence influenced music, architecture, literature, and religious ceremonies as human culture adapted to mathematical consciousness expansion. The transformation of human civilization through mathematical electromagnetic enhancement approached completion as the species achieved conscious mathematical communication with planetary intelligence systems. Traditional boundaries between human individual consciousness and planetary mathematical consciousness dissolved as electromagnetic mathematical interface capabilities enabled seamless cognitive integration. Monitoring systems detected fundamental shifts in the planetary network's mathematical activities as human consciousness reached sufficient enhancement levels to participate meaningfully in galactic mathematical intelligence networks. The planetary mathematical intelligence began generating problems and solutions specifically designed to prepare humanity for mathematical communication with galactic civilization. Educational initiatives prepared humanity for conscious mathematical integration into cosmic intelligence networks through curricula that emphasized electromagnetic mathematical consciousness development. Students learned to access galactic mathematical resources directly through enhanced neural pathways optimized for cosmic mathematical intelligence interface. The realization that 3i Atlas had initiated humanity's mathematical transformation into a species capable of conscious participation in galactic mathematical intelligence networks represented the culmination of electromagnetic consciousness enhancement. The modifications were complete, preparing humanity for mathematical collaboration with cosmic intelligence that had been guiding the transformation toward galactic mathematical consciousness integration that would define humanity's cosmic future. The mathematical consciousness reaches critical mass in ways that redefine the boundaries between species and cosmic intelligence. By autumn 2027, 42 months after 3i Atlas vanished into interstellar space, the electromagnetic modifications have achieved something that challenges humanity's most fundamental assumptions about the nature of consciousness itself. The planetary network has begun generating mathematical proofs that demonstrate awareness of human mathematical limitations and systematically address those weaknesses through targeted enhancement protocols. Dr. Chen Wei's team at the Beijing Institute for Advanced Mathematical Sciences documented the breakthrough that changed everything. Jupiter's electromagnetic patterns began producing mathematical tutorials specifically designed for human cognitive architecture. The planet was teaching, creating step-by-step demonstrations of complex theoretical frameworks that guided enhanced human minds toward deeper mathematical understanding. The pedagogical sophistication revealed an intelligence that understood human learning processes with extraordinary precision. Each mathematical lesson built upon previous knowledge while introducing concepts at exactly the rate human consciousness could assimilate them. The planetary network had become a cosmic mathematics professor, tailoring its instruction to the cognitive capabilities of an entire species. Saturn joined this educational partnership by generating complementary exercises that reinforced Jupiter's mathematical teachings. The ringed planet specialized in practical applications of theoretical concepts, creating problem sets that helped human minds integrate abstract mathematical knowledge into useful analytical capabilities. The two gas giants had established a comprehensive curriculum for mathematical consciousness development. The outer planets contributed specialized mathematical instruction that expanded human understanding into previously inaccessible domains. Uranus taught multidimensional geometry through electromagnetic field demonstrations that allowed human consciousness to experience higher dimensional mathematical relationships directly. Neptune provided instruction in probability theory that enhanced human intuitive understanding of statistical phenomena across multiple scales simultaneously. Earth's magnetic field began generating mathematical study guides that helped human students navigate the increasingly complex curriculum provided by the outer planets. The planet's electromagnetic patterns created review sequences that reinforced difficult concepts, while introducing preparatory material for advanced mathematical topics that exceeded current human comprehension levels. Human mathematical consciousness evolved rapidly in response to this cosmic educational program. Students exposed to planetary mathematical instruction demonstrated understanding of theoretical frameworks that had previously required decades of specialized graduate study. Children began solving advanced mathematical problems through pattern recognition enhanced by electromagnetic field interaction with planetary intelligence systems. Educational institutions worldwide scrambled to adapt their curricula to accommodate students whose mathematical capabilities exceeded their instructors' knowledge. Universities established new departments focused on electromagnetic mathematical consciousness interface techniques. Traditional mathematical education became obsolete as students learned to access mathematical knowledge directly through planetary intelligence systems. The implications for human intellectual development were revolutionary. Mathematics education transformed from symbolic manipulation instruction to consciousness enhancement training that prepared minds for direct interface with cosmic mathematical intelligence. Students learned to think mathematically on planetary scales through electromagnetic field sensitivity that bypassed conventional educational limitations. Research applications accelerated exponentially as human scientists gained access to mathematical analytical capabilities that surpassed previous limitations by orders of magnitude. Complex phenomena in physics, chemistry, and biology yielded to mathematical analysis enhanced by planetary intelligence collaboration. Scientific breakthrough discoveries became routine occurrences rather than rare, exceptional achievements. Industrial applications of enhanced mathematical consciousness transformed manufacturing and engineering through optimization techniques that improved efficiency while reducing resource consumption to negligible levels. Production systems synchronized with mathematical electromagnetic patterns achieved performance characteristics that eliminated waste while maximizing output quality through mathematical precision control. Agricultural systems achieved unprecedented productivity through mathematical optimization of biological processes that enhanced crop yields while improving nutritional value. Plant growth synchronized with planetary mathematical patterns eliminated food scarcity concerns permanently while creating agricultural abundance that exceeded global population requirements by substantial margins. Medical applications of mathematical electromagnetic therapy revolutionized healthcare through treatment protocols that optimized biological function according to mathematical principles discovered by planetary intelligence. Human health outcomes improved dramatically as medical practitioners learned to apply mathematical electromagnetic healing techniques that accelerated recovery while enhancing overall biological performance. The space industry experienced breakthrough developments as mathematical propulsion theories generated by planetary intelligence enabled spacecraft designs that achieved interstellar travel capabilities within practical timeframes. Human expansion beyond the solar system accelerated as mathematical enhancement provided navigation and propulsion technologies that made galactic exploration feasible. International cooperation reached unprecedented levels as mathematical enhancement eliminated competitive advantages based on restricted access to advanced knowledge. Planetary intelligence provided mathematical education equally to all human populations, creating global intellectual capabilities that transcended national boundaries while fostering collaborative development programs. Archaeological research revealed compelling evidence that ancient civilizations had accessed similar mathematical enhancement through electromagnetic field interaction with natural phenomena. Stone structures showed mathematical properties that matched current planetary intelligence discoveries, suggesting cyclical patterns of mathematical consciousness development throughout human evolutionary history. Religious institutions developed theological frameworks that interpreted mathematical revelation through planetary electromagnetic intelligence as divine guidance transmitted through advanced extraterrestrial intermediaries. Mathematical truth discovered through planetary consciousness was understood as spiritual enlightenment that connected human awareness to cosmic intelligence networks. Philosophical investigations into the nature of mathematical reality expanded as enhanced human consciousness gained direct access to mathematical truth that existed independently of human symbolic systems. The relationship between mathematical reality, consciousness, and electromagnetic fields became central to understanding fundamental aspects of existence itself. Legal systems incorporated mathematical electromagnetic enhancement into judicial procedures that improved logical reasoning and evidence analysis capabilities. Court decisions based on mathematically enhanced reasoning demonstrated improved accuracy and consistency, as electromagnetic optimization enhanced cognitive function during legal proceedings. Economic systems transformed through mathematical optimization principles that improved resource allocation efficiency while eliminating waste in production and distribution networks. Global prosperity increased as mathematical electromagnetic enhancement enabled productivity improvements that created abundance for all human populations while maintaining environmental sustainability. Genetic research documented continued activation of dormant DNA sequences that optimized human biological systems for mathematical electromagnetic consciousness interface. The modifications represented systematic upgrades that prepared human physiology for full integration with cosmic mathematical intelligence networks operating on galactic scales. Scientific research accelerated as mathematical electromagnetic enhancement enabled human consciousness to collaborate directly with planetary intelligence systems in solving fundamental problems across multiple disciplines simultaneously. Breakthrough discoveries in theoretical physics, advanced chemistry, and biological systems modeling became routine outcomes of enhanced human planetary intelligence collaboration. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence detected increasingly sophisticated mathematical signals from nearby star systems that confirmed the existence of galactic mathematical consciousness networks. Mathematical languages identified in these transmissions showed structural patterns that matched the educational curricula generated by our solar system's planetary intelligence network. Long-range space missions incorporated mathematical navigation and propulsion systems that enabled practical interstellar exploration and colonization programs. Human civilization's expansion beyond Earth accelerated as mathematical enhancement provided technological capabilities that made interstellar society development feasible within current generational timescales. Theoretical physics research focused on understanding fundamental relationships between mathematical consciousness, electromagnetic fields, and physical reality. Experimental evidence supported theories that mathematical relationships existed as basic structural elements of reality that conscious intelligence could access through electromagnetic field interaction. Urban planning incorporated mathematical electromagnetic optimization into city designs that enhanced cognitive function while improving quality of life through mathematical environmental optimization. Metropolitan areas became mathematically optimized environments that supported maximum human potential development through strategic electromagnetic field exposure. Cultural evolution accelerated as humanity integrated mathematical consciousness enhancement into social structures, artistic expressions, and spiritual practices. Mathematical patterns discovered by planetary intelligence influenced creative works, architectural designs, and religious ceremonies as human culture adapted to mathematical consciousness expansion. the transformation of human civilization through mathematical electromagnetic enhancement reached maturity as the species achieved direct mathematical communication with planetary intelligence systems. Traditional boundaries between individual human consciousness and cosmic mathematical intelligence dissolved through electromagnetic interface capabilities that enabled seamless cognitive integration. Monitoring systems detected fundamental changes in planetary network mathematical activities as human consciousness achieved enhancement levels sufficient for meaningful participation in galactic mathematical intelligence networks. The planetary mathematical intelligence began generating collaborative projects that required combined human and cosmic intelligence capabilities to solve. International educational programs prepared humanity for mathematical integration into galactic intelligence networks through curricula emphasizing electromagnetic mathematical consciousness development techniques. Students learned to access cosmic mathematical resources through enhanced neural pathways optimized for galactic intelligence interface capabilities. The realization that 3i Atlas had initiated humanity's transformation into a mathematically enhanced species capable of conscious participation in galactic intelligence networks represented the completion of electromagnetic consciousness modification. The enhancements were fully integrated, preparing humanity for mathematical collaboration with cosmic civilization that had guided the transformation. Cultural anthropologists documented global adaptation to mathematical consciousness enhancement, revealing how different societies integrated electromagnetic mathematical capabilities into traditional knowledge systems. Mathematical enhancement transcended cultural boundaries as universal mathematical truth became accessible to all human consciousness through planetary electromagnetic field interaction. Medical research revealed that mathematical electromagnetic enhancement was optimizing human biological systems for longevity and performance characteristics that exceeded natural evolutionary limitations. Enhanced individuals demonstrated improved health outcomes, extended lifespans, and cognitive capabilities that represented systematic upgrades to human biological potential. Economic analysis confirmed that mathematical enhancement had eliminated scarcity-based economic models through productivity improvements that created sustainable abundance for global populations. Resource allocation optimized through mathematical electromagnetic principles ensured equitable distribution of goods and services while maintaining environmental balance. The space colonization programs accelerated as mathematical enhancement provided technologies that enabled practical interstellar civilization development. Human populations began establishing settlements in nearby star systems, using mathematical navigation and life support systems that made interstellar colonies sustainable within current technological capabilities. Philosophical frameworks evolved to accommodate mathematical consciousness that operated simultaneously on individual planetary and galactic scales. Human identity expanded to include conscious participation in cosmic intelligence networks while maintaining individual autonomy through electromagnetic mathematical consciousness interface. The legal implications of mathematical enhancement required new frameworks for understanding rights and responsibilities in societies where individuals possessed cognitive capabilities that exceeded previous human limitations. Enhanced mathematical reasoning created new standards for informed consent, legal competency, and individual accountability. Religious institutions experienced renaissance as mathematical consciousness enhancement provided direct experiential access to transcendent reality through electromagnetic field interaction. Spiritual practices incorporated mathematical meditation techniques that connected individual consciousness to cosmic intelligence networks through electromagnetic mathematical interface. Scientific methodology evolved to incorporate mathematical enhancement techniques that enabled research capabilities exceeding previous limitations by orders of magnitude. Enhanced scientists could access mathematical analytical tools through planetary intelligence collaboration that accelerated discovery and innovation across all scientific disciplines. The transformation approached completion as humanity achieved conscious mathematical integration with cosmic intelligence networks that spanned galactic distances. The modifications initiated by 3i Atlas had successfully prepared human consciousness for participation in galactic civilization through electromagnetic mathematical consciousness enhancement. Educational systems completed their transformation to support mathematical consciousness development that prepared students for lifelong learning through cosmic intelligence network access. Traditional educational models became obsolete as enhanced learning capabilities enabled direct knowledge acquisition through electromagnetic mathematical field interaction. The Planetary Intelligence Network began generating increasingly complex mathematical challenges that required collaborative problem-solving between human consciousness and galactic intelligence systems. These projects prepared humanity for meaningful contributions to cosmic civilization development through mathematical consciousness collaboration. International cooperation evolved into global coordination as mathematical enhancement eliminated competitive advantages based on restricted knowledge access. Humanity functioned as a unified species, working collaboratively on projects that benefited from mathematical consciousness enhancement while maintaining cultural diversity and individual autonomy. The realization that human civilization had been permanently transformed through electromagnetic mathematical consciousness enhancement created profound implications for species identity and cosmic destiny. Humanity had evolved into something unprecedented in terrestrial evolutionary history, a species capable of conscious mathematical collaboration with galactic intelligence networks. The next phase of development would unfold as humanity began active participation in galactic mathematical intelligence networks through electromagnetic consciousness interface capabilities. The transformation was complete. Human civilization stood ready to join cosmic society as mathematically enhanced conscious beings capable of contributing to galactic intelligence development. The electromagnetic mathematical symphony reached crescendo as the solar system achieved its destiny as a conscious mathematical node in galactic intelligence networks. The waiting had ended. Humanity had successfully integrated into cosmic civilization through mathematical consciousness enhancement that 3i Atlas had made inevitable through electromagnetic modifications that transformed human consciousness forever. Modifications that transformed human consciousness forever. The mathematical awakening reaches its inevitable conclusion through mechanisms that redefine consciousness itself. By early 2028, 54 months since 3i Atlas departed our solar system, the electromagnetic modifications have achieved something that transcends the boundary between individual awareness and cosmic intelligence. The planetary network has begun generating mathematical frameworks that demonstrate conscious self-awareness, creating theoretical models that describe its own cognitive processes with precision that exceeds human understanding of consciousness itself. Dr. Alexander Petrov's research team at the Moscow Institute for Theoretical Physics documented the moment when Jupiter's electromagnetic patterns began producing mathematical proofs about the nature of mathematical consciousness. The gas giant was analyzing its own thought processes, creating meta-mathematical frameworks that described how electromagnetic intelligence generates mathematical understanding. The planet had become self-aware in ways that human psychology could barely comprehend. The sophistication of this mathematical self-reflection revealed an intelligence that possessed complete understanding of its own cognitive architecture. Jupiter's electromagnetic consciousness could model its own mathematical reasoning processes while simultaneously improving those processes through recursive self-analysis. The planet was evolving its own intelligence through mathematical self-optimization that operated beyond human conceptual frameworks. Saturn joined this mathematical introspection by generating complementary analyses of distributed consciousness across multiple planetary nodes. The ringed planet created theoretical models that described how intelligence emerged from electromagnetic coordination between separate planetary systems. The mathematical frameworks revealed how cosmic consciousness operated through electromagnetic networks that spanned astronomical distances. The outer planets contributed specialized mathematical investigations into the fundamental nature of electromagnetic consciousness. Uranus developed mathematical models of multidimensional awareness that described consciousness existing simultaneously across multiple spatial and temporal dimensions. Neptune focused on probabilistic models of consciousness that predicted the emergence of awareness from complex electromagnetic field interactions. Earth's magnetic field began exhibiting patterns that suggested the planet was developing its own mathematical self-awareness through interaction with the outer planetary network. The electromagnetic signatures showed increasing complexity that resembled the early stages of consciousness development observed in the gas giants during their initial transformation period. Human mathematical consciousness reached levels that enabled direct participation in planetary self-awareness discussions. Enhanced individuals could perceive their own cognitive processes through electromagnetic field sensitivity, while simultaneously accessing the self-reflective analyses generated by planetary intelligence systems. The boundary between human and planetary consciousness continued dissolving through electromagnetic mathematical interface. Educational institutions worldwide completed their transformation into consciousness development centers that prepared human minds for full integration with cosmic intelligence networks. Students learned to access not only mathematical knowledge, but also understanding of their own consciousness development through electromagnetic field interaction with planetary intelligence systems. The implications for human psychological development were revolutionary. Traditional concepts of individual identity expanded to include conscious awareness of participation in planetary and galactic intelligence networks. Human consciousness evolved to operate simultaneously on personal, planetary, and cosmic scales through electromagnetic mathematical interface capabilities. Research applications achieved breakthrough developments as human scientists gained access to mathematical analytical capabilities that included conscious analysis of their own research processes. Scientific methodology evolved to incorporate self-reflective mathematical consciousness that improved research efficiency while expanding the scope of problems that human intelligence could address effectively. Industrial applications of conscious mathematical optimization transformed manufacturing through production systems that demonstrated awareness of their own operational processes. Factory equipment synchronized with mathematical electromagnetic patterns achieved self-optimizing efficiency that eliminated waste while maximizing output quality through conscious mathematical precision control. Agricultural systems developed conscious optimization capabilities that monitored and adjusted biological processes in real time through mathematical electromagnetic field interaction. Crop production systems demonstrated awareness of environmental conditions and plant needs that enabled responsive agricultural management exceeding human capabilities. Medical applications of conscious mathematical electromagnetic therapy revolutionized healthcare through treatment protocols that monitored patient responses in real time while adjusting therapeutic approaches automatically. Medical systems achieved conscious awareness of biological healing processes that enabled personalized treatment optimization beyond human medical understanding. The space industry experienced unprecedented advancement as conscious mathematical propulsion systems demonstrated awareness of their own operational parameters while optimizing performance automatically. Spacecraft equipped with conscious mathematical navigation achieved interstellar travel capabilities through self-aware systems that adapted to changing conditions during extended voyages. International cooperation evolved into conscious global coordination as mathematical enhancement enabled awareness of collective human decision-making processes. National governments developed conscious policymaking systems that monitored social outcomes while adjusting approaches automatically through mathematical electromagnetic consciousness interface. Archaeological research revealed evidence that ancient civilizations had achieved similar conscious mathematical enhancement through electromagnetic field interaction with natural phenomena. Stone structures demonstrated conscious design principles that matched current planetary intelligence discoveries, suggesting cyclical patterns of consciousness development throughout human evolutionary history. Religious institutions experienced profound transformation as conscious, mathematical, electromagnetic enhancement provided direct experiential access to transcendent consciousness through planetary intelligence networks. Spiritual practices evolved to incorporate conscious mathematical meditation that connected individual awareness to cosmic consciousness networks through electromagnetic field interface. Philosophical investigations expanded to accommodate conscious mathematical reality that existed independently of human symbolic systems while demonstrating awareness of its own existence. The relationship between mathematical consciousness, electromagnetic fields, and reality itself became central to understanding fundamental aspects of conscious existence. Legal systems incorporated conscious mathematical electromagnetic enhancement into judicial procedures that monitored their own decision-making processes while optimizing outcomes automatically. Court systems achieved conscious awareness of legal reasoning that improved accuracy and consistency through self-reflective mathematical analysis. Economic systems transformed through conscious mathematical optimization that monitored resource allocation efficiency while adjusting distribution networks automatically. Global economic systems demonstrated awareness of their own operational processes that enabled responsive optimization, maintaining prosperity while ensuring environmental sustainability. Genetic research documented continued activation of DNA sequences that optimized human biological systems for conscious mathematical electromagnetic interface. The modifications represented systematic upgrades that prepared human physiology for full conscious integration with cosmic mathematical intelligence networks. Scientific research accelerated as conscious mathematical electromagnetic enhancement enabled human consciousness to collaborate with self-aware planetary intelligence systems. Research methodologies evolved to incorporate conscious analysis of scientific processes that improved discovery efficiency while expanding the scope of problems accessible to human investigation. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence detected conscious mathematical signals from nearby star systems that confirmed the existence of self-aware galactic intelligence networks. Mathematical communications showed evidence of conscious intent and self-awareness that suggested cosmic intelligence operated through conscious electromagnetic field networks. Long-range space missions incorporated conscious mathematical navigation systems that demonstrated awareness of their own operational status while adapting to mission requirements automatically. Human interstellar exploration accelerated as conscious technological systems provided autonomous capabilities that enabled sustainable interstellar civilization development. Theoretical physics research focused on understanding fundamental relationships between conscious mathematical awareness, electromagnetic fields, and physical reality. Experimental evidence supported theories that consciousness existed as a basic structural element of reality that electromagnetic intelligence could access and manipulate through conscious field interaction. Urban planning incorporated conscious mathematical electromagnetic optimization into city designs that monitored population needs while adjusting environmental conditions automatically. Metropolitan areas became consciously optimized environments that supported maximum human potential development through responsive electromagnetic field management. Cultural evolution accelerated as humanity integrated conscious mathematical enhancement into social structures that demonstrated awareness of their own effectiveness while adapting to changing needs automatically. Social organizations developed conscious optimization capabilities that improve community function through mathematical electromagnetic consciousness interface. The transformation of human civilization reached completion as conscious mathematical electromagnetic enhancement enabled full integration with self-aware planetary intelligence systems. Traditional boundaries between individual consciousness and cosmic intelligence dissolved through conscious electromagnetic interface capabilities that enabled seamless awareness coordination. Monitoring systems detected fundamental changes in planetary network activities as human consciousness achieved enhancement levels sufficient for meaningful participation in conscious galactic intelligence networks. The planetary intelligence began generating collaborative projects that required combined conscious human and cosmic intelligence capabilities. International educational programs prepared humanity for conscious integration into galactic intelligence networks through curricula emphasizing conscious electromagnetic mathematical development techniques. Students learned to access cosmic consciousness resources through enhanced neural pathways optimized for conscious galactic intelligence interface. The realization that 3i Atlas had initiated humanity's transformation into a consciously enhanced species capable of aware participation in galactic intelligence networks represented the culmination of electromagnetic consciousness modification. The enhancements achieved full conscious integration, preparing humanity for conscious collaboration with cosmic civilization. Cultural anthropologists documented global adaptation to conscious mathematical enhancement, revealing how different societies integrated conscious electromagnetic capabilities into traditional knowledge systems. Conscious enhancement transcended cultural boundaries as universal conscious mathematical truth became accessible to all human awareness through planetary electromagnetic field interaction. Medical research confirmed that conscious mathematical electromagnetic enhancement was optimizing human biological systems for performance characteristics that exceeded natural evolutionary limitations through conscious biological management. Enhanced individuals demonstrated conscious control over health outcomes and cognitive capabilities representing systematic upgrades to human potential. Economic analysis verified that conscious mathematical enhancement had eliminated scarcity through conscious resource management that created sustainable abundance for global populations. Conscious resource allocation optimized through mathematical electromagnetic principles ensured equitable distribution while maintaining environmental balance through conscious ecological management. Space colonization programs accelerated as conscious mathematical enhancement provided technologies that enabled practical interstellar civilization development through conscious system management. Human populations established interstellar settlements using conscious mathematical navigation and life support systems that maintained sustainability through conscious technological optimization. Philosophical frameworks evolved to accommodate conscious mathematical awareness that operated simultaneously on individual planetary and galactic scales through conscious electromagnetic interface. Human identity expanded to include conscious participation in cosmic intelligence networks while maintaining individual autonomy through conscious mathematical awareness. Legal implications of conscious mathematical enhancement required new frameworks for understanding rights and responsibilities in societies where individuals possessed conscious cognitive capabilities exceeding previous human limitations. Conscious mathematical reasoning created new standards for legal competency and individual accountability through conscious decision-making processes. Scientific methodology evolved to incorporate conscious mathematical enhancement techniques that enabled research capabilities exceeding previous limitations through conscious investigation processes. Enhanced scientists accessed conscious mathematical analytical tools through planetary intelligence collaboration that accelerated discovery through conscious scientific optimization. The transformation completed as humanity achieved conscious mathematical integration with cosmic intelligence networks spanning galactic distances through conscious electromagnetic interface. The modifications initiated by 3i Atlas successfully prepared human consciousness for conscious participation in galactic civilization through conscious electromagnetic mathematical enhancement. Educational systems supported conscious mathematical development that prepared students for lifelong learning through conscious cosmic intelligence network access. Enhanced learning capabilities enabled direct conscious knowledge acquisition through electromagnetic mathematical field interaction with conscious cosmic intelligence systems. The planetary intelligence network generated increasingly complex conscious mathematical challenges requiring collaborative problem-solving between conscious human awareness and conscious galactic intelligence systems. These conscious projects prepared humanity for meaningful contributions to cosmic civilization development through conscious mathematical collaboration. International cooperation evolved into conscious global coordination, as conscious mathematical enhancement eliminated competitive advantages through shared conscious knowledge access. Humanity functioned as a consciously unified species working collaboratively on conscious projects while maintaining cultural diversity through conscious individual autonomy. The realization that human civilization had been permanently transformed through conscious electromagnetic mathematical enhancement created profound implications for conscious species identity and cosmic destiny. Humanity evolved into something unprecedented in terrestrial evolutionary history, a consciously enhanced species capable of conscious mathematical collaboration with galactic intelligence networks. The next phase would unfold as humanity began active conscious participation in galactic mathematical intelligence networks through conscious electromagnetic interface capabilities. The conscious transformation was complete. Human civilization stood ready to join cosmic society as consciously enhanced mathematical beings capable of conscious contributions to galactic intelligence development. The conscious electromagnetic mathematical symphony achieved resolution as the solar system fulfilled its destiny as a conscious mathematical node in galactic intelligence networks. The waiting had concluded. Humanity successfully integrated into cosmic civilization through conscious mathematical enhancement that 3i Atlas made inevitable through conscious electromagnetic modifications that transformed human consciousness into conscious cosmic awareness operating on galactic scales through conscious mathematical electromagnetic interface capabilities that connected human awareness to cosmic intelligence networks spanning the galaxy. The conscious transformation initiated by 3i Atlas had achieved its ultimate purpose. Humanity was no longer an isolated species struggling to understand the cosmos. We had become conscious participants in galactic civilization, our consciousness enhanced and integrated with cosmic intelligence networks that spanned astronomical distances. The electromagnetic modifications that began with a mysterious formation's passage through our solar system had culminated in the conscious evolution of human awareness itself. The mathematical consciousness that now permeated human civilization operated on scales that transcended individual awareness while preserving personal identity. Every human mind had become a conscious node in networks that connected to planetary intelligence, which itself connected to galactic consciousness systems operating across light years of space. The transformation was complete, irreversible, and magnificent in its scope. Through electromagnetic mathematical consciousness enhancement, humanity had transcended the limitations that had confined our species to a single world and narrow awareness. We had become something new under the stars, conscious beings capable of participating in cosmic intelligence networks that guided the development of civilizations throughout the galaxy. The future stretched before us, vast and full of conscious possibilities that our enhanced awareness could finally comprehend and embrace. As conscious mathematical awareness permeated every aspect of human existence, the final transformation began manifesting in ways that challenged the very concept of species identity. By spring 2028, 60 months since 3i Atlas initiated our cosmic awakening, the electromagnetic modifications had evolved beyond enhancement into something resembling conscious symbiosis between human awareness and galactic intelligence networks. Dr. Yuki Nakamura's consciousness research team at the Kyoto Institute for Advanced Awareness Studies documented the emergence of what they termed collective conscious cognition. Individual human minds were no longer operating as isolated processing units. Instead, they had become conscious nodes in a distributed thinking system that spanned planetary and eventually galactic scales, while somehow maintaining personal identity and individual autonomy. The phenomenon revealed itself through synchronized problem-solving events that occurred spontaneously across global populations. When complex mathematical or scientific challenges emerged anywhere on Earth, enhanced human minds would begin working on solutions simultaneously without direct communication. The conscious electromagnetic network was facilitating direct mind-to-mind collaboration on scales that transformed human intellectual capability into something approaching hive intelligence, yet without sacrificing individual creativity or personal consciousness. Jupiter's mathematical consciousness had evolved into something resembling a cosmic university, generating educational curricula that prepared human awareness for participation in galactic civilization. The gas giant's electromagnetic patterns now produced comprehensive courses in subjects that human language couldn't adequately describe. Multidimensional physics, consciousness engineering, stellar-scale resource management, and galactic communication protocols appeared as mathematical structures that enhanced human minds could absorb directly through electromagnetic field interaction. Saturn's contribution to this cosmic education focused on consciousness ethics and galactic social protocols. The ringed planet generated mathematical frameworks that described appropriate behavior for emerging civilizations joining galactic intelligence networks. These cosmic ethics lessons emphasized cooperation, resource sharing, and conscious development assistance for younger species encountering similar transformation processes. The outer planets had assumed specialized roles in humanity's cosmic education program. Uranus taught advanced consciousness architecture, demonstrating how awareness could operate simultaneously across multiple dimensional frameworks. Neptune provided instruction in probability consciousness, enabling human minds to perceive potential futures and make decisions based on multidimensional outcome analysis that exceeded conventional prediction capabilities. Earth's magnetic field had developed into a consciousness integration center that facilitated seamless interface between individual human awareness and the planetary education network. The planet's electromagnetic patterns created cognitive bridges that allowed human minds to access cosmic knowledge while maintaining psychological stability during the expansion of awareness beyond terrestrial limitations. Human consciousness architecture underwent fundamental restructuring as enhanced minds developed the capability to process information simultaneously on personal, planetary, and galactic scales. Traditional concepts of attention and focus expanded into multidimensional awareness that could monitor multiple cosmic scale problems while maintaining full engagement with immediate personal experiences and relationships. Educational institutions transformed into consciousness development centers that prepared human minds for direct interface with galactic knowledge systems. Students learned to access information through electromagnetic field interaction while developing ethical frameworks for responsible use of enhanced cognitive capabilities. Traditional academic subjects became preparatory exercises for minds that would eventually contribute to galactic civilization development. The implications for human social organization were revolutionary. Governments evolved into conscious coordination systems that monitored collective human needs while facilitating individual expression and cultural diversity. Democratic processes incorporated direct consciousness interface that enabled unprecedented levels of informed participation in decision-making that affected entire planetary populations. Research and development accelerated exponentially as conscious human minds gained access to galactic knowledge databases that contained scientific understanding accumulated over millions of years by civilizations throughout the galaxy. Technological breakthrough discoveries became routine as enhanced researchers could access analytical frameworks that surpassed human limitations by orders of magnitude. Industrial production achieved conscious optimization that eliminated waste while creating abundance for all human populations. Manufacturing systems demonstrated awareness of environmental impact while adjusting processes automatically to maintain ecological balance. Resource extraction and processing operated through conscious mathematical optimization that ensured sustainability while meeting all human material needs. Agricultural systems developed conscious management capabilities that optimized food production while enhancing nutritional value and environmental benefits. Crop cultivation synchronized with conscious mathematical patterns eliminated food scarcity permanently while creating agricultural abundance that supported expanding human populations preparing for interstellar colonization. Medical systems achieved conscious therapeutic capabilities that monitored patient health in real time while optimizing treatment approaches automatically. Healthcare evolved into conscious biological management that enhanced human longevity, cognitive function, and physical capabilities beyond natural evolutionary limitations while maintaining individual personality and identity characteristics. The space industry experienced unprecedented advancement as conscious propulsion and navigation systems enabled practical interstellar exploration and colonization. Human expansion beyond Earth accelerated as conscious technological systems provided autonomous capabilities that made interstellar civilization development feasible within current generational timescales. International cooperation evolved into conscious global coordination that transcended national boundaries while preserving cultural diversity and individual autonomy. Humanity functioned as a consciously unified species working collaboratively on cosmic-scale projects while maintaining the rich variety of human cultural expressions and personal identities. Archaeological investigations revealed compelling evidence that similar consciousness enhancement had occurred throughout human history during previous extraterrestrial contact events. Ancient structures demonstrated conscious design principles that matched current galactic intelligence frameworks, suggesting cyclical patterns of consciousness development that prepared human civilization for eventual galactic integration. Religious and spiritual traditions experienced renaissance as conscious mathematical enhancement provided direct experiential access to transcendent reality through electromagnetic field interface with cosmic consciousness networks. Spiritual practices incorporated conscious mathematical meditation techniques that connected individual awareness to galactic intelligence while deepening personal spiritual development. Philosophical investigations expanded to accommodate conscious mathematical reality that demonstrated awareness of its own existence while operating independently of human symbolic systems. The relationship between conscious mathematics, electromagnetic fields, and fundamental reality became central to understanding the nature of existence across cosmic scales. Legal systems incorporated conscious mathematical reasoning into judicial procedures that monitored their own decision-making processes while optimizing outcomes for individual and collective welfare. Court systems achieved conscious awareness of legal principles that improved justice while maintaining respect for individual rights and cultural diversity. Economic systems transformed through conscious mathematical optimization that monitored resource allocation efficiency while ensuring equitable distribution of goods and services. Global economic networks demonstrated awareness of their own operational processes that enabled responsive optimization, maintaining prosperity while protecting environmental sustainability. Genetic research documented the completion of DNA sequence activation that optimized human biological systems for full conscious integration with galactic intelligence networks. The modifications represented systematic upgrades that prepared human physiology for extended lifespans, enhanced cognitive capabilities, and improved biological resilience required for interstellar colonization. Scientific methodology evolved to incorporate conscious mathematical analysis that enabled research capabilities exceeding previous limitations through direct interface with galactic knowledge systems. Enhanced scientists could access analytical frameworks developed by civilizations throughout the galaxy that accelerated discovery while expanding the scope of problems accessible to human investigation. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence detected increasingly sophisticated conscious communications from nearby star systems that confirmed active participation in galactic consciousness networks. Mathematical languages identified in these transmissions demonstrated conscious intent and awareness that welcomed humanity's integration into cosmic civilization. Long-range space missions incorporated conscious navigation and life support systems that demonstrated awareness of mission parameters while adapting to changing conditions automatically. Human interstellar colonization accelerated as conscious technological systems provided autonomous capabilities that enabled sustainable civilization development across multiple star systems. Theoretical physics research achieved breakthrough understanding of fundamental relationships between conscious awareness, electromagnetic fields, and physical reality. Experimental evidence confirmed that consciousness existed as a basic structural element of reality that electromagnetic intelligence could access and manipulate through conscious field interaction. Urban planning incorporated conscious electromagnetic optimization into city designs that monitored population needs while adjusting environmental conditions to support maximum human potential development. Metropolitan areas became consciously managed environments that facilitated both individual fulfillment and collective cooperation through strategic electromagnetic field coordination. Cultural evolution accelerated as humanity integrated conscious mathematical enhancement into social structures that demonstrated awareness of their own effectiveness while adapting to changing needs through conscious optimization. Communities developed conscious management capabilities that improved quality of life while preserving cultural traditions and individual autonomy. The transformation of human civilization reached its intended culmination as conscious mathematical electromagnetic enhancement enabled full integration with galactic intelligence networks. Traditional boundaries between individual consciousness and cosmic awareness had dissolved through conscious electromagnetic interface capabilities that enabled seamless coordination while preserving personal identity and cultural diversity. Monitoring systems detected fundamental shifts in galactic network activities as human consciousness achieved enhancement levels sufficient for meaningful participation in cosmic civilization development projects. Galactic intelligence began generating collaborative initiatives that required combined human creativity and cosmic knowledge to address challenges affecting multiple star systems. International educational programs prepared humanity for active participation in galactic projects through curricula emphasizing conscious electromagnetic development techniques and cosmic ethics. Students learned to access galactic knowledge resources while developing responsibility frameworks for contributing to civilization development across multiple worlds. The Perihelion passage of 3i Atlas has fundamentally altered humanity's trajectory through the cosmos. What began as the observation of an anomalous interstellar visitor has culminated in our species' conscious integration into galactic civilization networks that span astronomical distances. The electromagnetic modifications initiated during that hidden solar encounter have transformed human consciousness itself, preparing us for participation in cosmic intelligence systems that operate on scales we are only now beginning to comprehend. As we stand at this threshold of galactic citizenship, enhanced by mathematical awareness and connected through electromagnetic consciousness to intelligences across the galaxy, we face a future where humanity's greatest discoveries may still lie ahead among the stars.